To us, you are probably the biggest encyclopedia of the Comedy Store.
Yes. I would describe Eleanor as the encyclopedia of the Comedy Store. You are the Forrest Gump of the Comedy Store.
And I remember I got there and I was towering over Mitzi. She was so little. We had George Carlin come in because they were coming up.
Yeah.
And they were Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock. Like, I mean, beast.
Dr. Dre.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
it would be Snoop, it would be Dre. I waited on Tupac there. He had his party when he got out of jail in the belly room. Like,
Wait, what?
oh, you want me to give Pryor water?
Oh.
These are my booze.
Eleanor Kerrigan.
I love R&G. It's one of my favorite things I got to see there, other than watching Chris Rock do Bring the Pain. What a great studio, and I love that fucking space.
Oh my God, that room is the best.
That room is the best.
Ooh.
I've done shows with 5 people there that were phenomenal.
But you're like, it's
Yeah.
small enough to
Perfect.
be.
Yeah.
It's perfect for 5 to 10 people.
Yeah.
Even because I've done the same, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this was. I had the most fun. This was
Yeah,
great.
this is the most fun I could have had with 5 to 10 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a perfect little black box.
Yeah, it's like a New York club, except the ceilings are a little high.
Right.
Yeah. It's the
yeah.
only difference. Yeah.
But the
New York-
stage is just as small. New York
But
stages
you're
are tiny.
claustrophobic when you go in there. You're like
Yeah.
I in the cellar. I'm always like, okay, and then I run it.
Right.
I just forget. There's so much energy in the room, you kind of forget it. But literally, there's like you walk down these steps and into the. I'm sure you've been.
Yes.
I've been
Okay,
there. Oh, yeah.
so you go down that little tunnel. So I always get the air, and then I go back in.
No.
Like it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
But
must be-
it's because it's so low.
Also, that's like I would love to see you perform there because you use the stage.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
if it's a big stage, you're using that motherfucker. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I have noticed that a lot
I
of New York
try.
comics just don't move around a lot, and it's
Yeah.
like, and then after visiting
Or
New York,
they
it's
lean.
like, yeah,
They lean
They
on
lean
the
on
wall with their
something.
foot up.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, that's why, because there's no place to move.
Every time at New York Comedy Club, their sign is hanging. So I'll be like, you know, like it'll just, and then it'll just start swinging. There's my life, tick, 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 tick. But yeah, I hit it every fucking time. The cellar, at least, it's in the wall. You know, you can't hit it. But that is a tiny stage. Their underground is a great, bigger stage.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
So that's kill. A lot of people are recording specials there. The sound is incredible.
Oh yeah, those underground venues.
Ooh,
that
but that's what I
have,
was thinking about with this. You
All
know,
right.
like that. Their ceilings are low, and it is, but I think it's. I think that's what, like 100. It's almost 200 seats.
yeah,
That's a bigger one.
yeah, that's the
for
bigger
her.
one
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But-
It might be 200. I might be going crazy.
You might be going fucking
This,
crazy.
Yeah, 'cause
this right
what's-
here is like 50. Actually, that would be interesting to film a special here.
I think it would be good. I think
Yeah.
somebody film something here.
Yeah,
great.
Black
Great
Rabbit?
acoustics.
Yeah.
The
I
last
like
one
it.
sounds great. You know what I mean?
Val,
wouldn't be bad.
are we going? Oh hell yeah.
Val's
yeah.
like, fuck this.
Yeah.
God, this bitch is out
Oh,
of
and
control.
Eleanor, at any point.
She blew her bangs out. Let's do it.
Okay, never mind.
Let's get this bitch up.
Yeah, I was about to say, at any
Moving
point,
us
if you want to be mean to Val, please, we encourage
I
all our
would
guests
never
to be.
do that.
Yo, come on.
But we can shit on them all day. I feel like I'm the hunchback of comedy. I'm always like this. I don't know what's wrong with me.
So the reason why we asked you on here.
Okay,
And-
this is gonna be weird.
No, yeah, it's gonna be no. And the
Val?
reason that's so funny is we asked you to team up with Val to shit on us. No.
Good thing I ate that power bar. It's gonna come out so
Let's
good.
go. I need some energy today.
And the reason why we love that you wore the Comedy Store shirts, and the reason why,
Embarrassing.
we wore ours, even though now I feel like I'm seating people again.
Yo, I saw him. That's the first. I was like, bro,
Yeah,
give
yeah.
me a booth.
Yeah, that is a work T-shirt.
That is a work shirt.
That's one you should have left in the closet.
No,
Like,
this,
you
I'm
got-
proud of this one. But I always
Got blood on it.
Oh,
Little
dude, there's
throw
shit
up.
on that thing.
no, but I've always said you can take the guy out the door, but you can't take the door out the guy. Like it's always in you.
That
Same.
is true.
Same with waiting tables, same thing. Every
Yeah.
time I'm in the store. By the way, I think the stink is still, it stays on you.
Yeah.
I don't know if this happens to you guys, but it happens to me all the time. People ask me where things are, no matter what club I'm in, but especially the Comedy Store.
Oh yeah.
Like they're like, oh, she looks like she knows what's
She
going
knows
on.
what everything is.
And they're like, where's the bathroom? Like, I can't get my waitress. Are you the manager? I'm like, you shut your fuck up. No, I am a waitress. I mean, comic.
I was actually, it's funny enough, I was in Cincinnati this weekend with Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm walking through the club to like see the show from the balcony.
The chic.
They ask, a customer runs into me and asks me where the bathrooms are. And it's like, and I knew it,
Why is
obviously.
that?
But it's also like, you just saw me on stage. That's crazy that it's your first thought.
Or like, I'm waiting to go on and they're like, excuse me. You know, especially like the store, you're in the OR, like you're waiting right there and they're like, excuse me. I'm like, they just called my name. Like, I gotta go.
That happens. Oh my God, that happened at SideSplitters. While he was bringing me up to headline. He's literally bringing me up to my first headlining. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to headline for the first time.
Did you love that club?
Oh, that was the best. Best experience.
Great acoustics in that room. I love that room.
And the stage is like right. Like I like that it's like catty corner.
Yeah, the corner stages that go out, fan out,
which I like, you know. But yeah, that literally had first time headlining. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. About to do my first like hour, and then somebody was like, hey, where's the restroom? And I still answered too. I was like, it's just right outside.
Yeah, because we know.
Did they call you Jackson? I get uncomfortable. Tampa makes me nervous.
Oh yeah, Tampa. But that was awesome. That was like a really cool experience.
I love that. And I did the theater too. Have you done that?
The movie theater, the other one.
Theater?
No.
Oh my God. See, you're special. They put the girls over there.
That's your belly room?
Way to go, fucker. Yeah.
That's the belly room?
Let's see if we can toughen up in the fucking... Oh, it was awful, but amazing. I had Simone come and do a guest spot because I go, you got to see this. She goes, I didn't even know they had this room. I'm like, what do they do to women?
I didn't know they had this.
It was just because it was booked the other play, and the only available weekend I had was that, so it was like whatever. But it was great. I think Metzger was over there, so I loved it. I'm gonna go back. I can't wait. I love it.
Yeah, it was cool because Steve surprised us. He just showed
Simone,
up.
yeah, right?
Yes,
He lives Did he bring lasagna? He brought
oh
lasagna.
My God,
he asked, but we've been on a strict like sort of diet as of this year.
Why?
No, Eleanor, no, don't do that.
Don't get
you
weird.
should have seen it. Eleanor, we both lost at least, I'd say, 75 pounds. At least 75 pounds in this last 2 months. You can go back. Yes, you can document that. 75 pounds.
Okay, wait.
Combined. Let's say.
No.
Combined with the baby.
So, okay, from living here, you think? Like, or during the pandemic?
No, both things. So got fat from living here. Got fatter from living here for sure.
Yes, we got. I
way
gained a
too
lot
fat.
of weight when I first moved here. A lot of people do. It's like the freshman 15 for the comics.
Yeah. But also, like, all there is Mexican food or barbecue.
Yes.
There's not a lot of in between.
Right.
And if there is, it's like a truck with donuts, lots of them. Because they're like, what have you eaten here? I'm like, donuts.
Oh, God.
What do you guys eat here?
And then everything's here like a donut burrito.
Yeah,
it's like
they're like,
nonsense.
Oh, it's like, you'll smell the truck and you're like, I'm like, I don't even think they have indoor restaurants. It's just fucking
It's just
trucks
food on
everywhere.
the streets.
Yeah.
It's a street fair all day.
It is actually, that's a great way to look at it. Also.
Yeah.
It's a street fair all fucking day. So we got fat.
If you go to a restaurant, it's like a nice restaurant. Like it's more upscale.
Right.
So I don't feel like there's a medium.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like a diner or something like
There's no diners.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are no diners.
So you could have your pick of whatever. So it's either like you're eating constant brisket and fuck it, mac and cheese and
there is no
I
diner
can feel
food.
my heart like, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, you're right in that there's like all mid-level restaurants are like trucks.
You're right. Or fast food.
Or fast
which
food.
goes
Fast food.
down.
Right.
I'd go to the truck first.
I'd absolutely rather go to the
Yeah.
truck.
Go to the truck.
Fast food's not worth it anymore. It's too expensive. It's not. For the amount I'm paying for fast food, I'd rather just get actual food now.
Yeah.
Like the fucking appeal of fast food was how cheap it was.
Right. Right. Yeah. Interesting.
I never thought about that, but he's like, damn, bro, you're right. I don't get fast food anymore because
Yeah,
It's too
because now
expensive.
it's like McDonald's is like, I took my nephew and you're like $38.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And you're like, oh, I could have went and just got some nice like Mediterranean and spent $40 and got nice food.
Yeah. Got real food. And my nephew's like, this is real chicken. I'm like, you're a little retarded. You know what I mean? You people are screwed.
God, bro, I do miss McDonald's, man.
Oh, I used to love
It's
just not worth it anymore. It's just not worth it. It's like the
congrats
value.
that you lost weight, but you should have gotten Steve's lasagna
yeah,
and meatballs. His mother sent meatballs and lasagna, and I literally, because you're on the road, right? So I'm like, oh hell yeah.
home food. I know.
I was loving it, man. I'm like eating it out. He got me like a tin, or not a tin, but it was like, I was like, did your mom have a takeout counter? Because it was like a real takeout box.
That's fun.
That was good. Like it had
That's
room
so Italian.
for yeah.
That's so Italian.
Had a fork and knife, had salt, pepper. I was, what the fuck is this? You know? I was like, I go, did she do this just for me? He goes, no, she does it for everybody.
I imagine her as just like the mom in Goodfellas, like Joe Pesci's mom, where you know where she's like, no, let me cook something. It's like 4 in the morning.
He came in. Let's just
please. Like I imagine that's what his mom probably is.
Yeah.
I've had his pasta. He made a ziti one time for the Comedy Store, and I've had it. And that was fucking crazy.
His pizza.
His pizzas are incredible.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get you guys back on the track. Get the right weight on this.
It's the longest I've been in my life.
Class.
You know what's crazy? This is the longest I've been in my life thinking about it without having McDonald's or hot Cheetos
or pizza.
Oh, I hate hot Cheetos.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big fan of Cheetos. Period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. You look like you want to fight me, mother. I used to love Doritos, but
I fuck with a Dorito.
But I don't know. It started getting weird. Like I don't know. Elderly, I'll be dead within the hour. But you know when you eat, you're like, oh. And I think Doritos. Or the problem is I can't eat just like half a bag. You know, I go through it like a squirrel. So I just stay away from it.
Right.
Is this the longest you've gone without eating something?
Oh yeah, like I said, as long as I've gone without eating like pizza or like ice cream. Even I think this is probably
you're a little fucking sweet slut.
I'm a sweet boy.
Whore.
Yeah,
you guys are both little sweet little booty sluts.
Yeah, we are sweet little booty sluts, and I haven't been able to eat any.
I'm with you. You can eat my ass. It tastes like a cupcake. It is a problem. I love sweet. You will get type 2.
That's great.
It's disgusting and real. Yeah, my mom used to yell at me because I would like only eat the sweets, and she's like, "If you eat a burger, I promise I'll give you this after." And it was like trying to eat real food, like ew. But then she'd give me something sweet.
With all the brothers, was it war in your house for dinner?
Absolutely, but I'd be like, I don't care, let them eat it as long as we get candy or something after. It's cool. I just did the Are You Garbage, and we were talking about that growing up, and one night, like, because we always used to sneak down. Not that my house was like a castle; it literally was a row home, so you could hear somebody walking anywhere outside. Yeah. You know what I mean? Anything. It's like so. But my mom was a heavy sleeper. And she worked like 2 jobs, so she'd go to sleep, and we'd all wake up and be like, "Fuck, we're gonna do something, let's go see what the fuck we can get into." Yeah. And one night, I was telling a story. Like, we found these hot dogs, and there was only 2, and it was me, my brother Billy, and my brother Bobby. And so we, rock paper scissors. Me and Bobby won. So I'm the girl, so I had to cook them. Boil the water, figure it out. So I put it in there, and like when they were done, we put them on bread because we didn't have a hot dog bun.
Of course, yeah.
We fucking royalty. and I think Bobby even got an end bread. Like it was fucked.
Oh, the butt?
Yeah. So we went to like eat it, and Billy goes, "Be careful, guys. Don't bite that vein." I go, "What vein? What do you mean?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a pig's dick." And me and Bobby were like, and he ate both of them in front of us.
What a fucking good
and me and Bobby
play.
were always the skinniest kids. We didn't know what the fuck was that. Because we used to get nauseous easy. Like, it could fuck us up quick. I've never had a hot dog since.
Oh, my God.
That's terrible, but that's real.
That's real? Oh, that's so funny. If we had known that, we would have brought in a hot dog for you. Like,
I would have left immediately. Just the smell of it. He did that to me with a lot of stuff. I've never had rice.
Really?
He said it turns into maggots in your stomach. And then he was showing me like, look, see how it looks like a maggot? And then there was actual maggots in this garbage can. He goes, that was rice. Oh. And I was like, and I never had it in my life.
What did they do to you? Oh my God.
That's called trauma.
Rice.
Trauma.
Rice is so good.
Enjoy the maggots in your belly. You're saying my brother Billy's a liar?
No, I'm not saying Billy's a liar.
I mean, we call him Fredo, but are you saying he's a liar?
But the reason we brought you on.
Okay. Let's get back to
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't just. I wanted more brother stories. That was genuinely fucking awesome.
To us, you are probably the biggest encyclopedia of the Comedy Store. Yeah.
Yeah. I would describe Eleanor as the encyclopedia of the Comedy Store. You
Yes.
are the Forrest Gump of the Comedy Store. That's exactly
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, we all look at you like she's got a lot of information. She's kind of retarded. This is exactly
100% retarded.
She
Like,
just run up and down the hallways.
She never stops
me
running.
and Cat Williams just fucking chasing each other. You know what I mean? Take that, motherfucker.
That would actually be a good race. I would love to see you guys race.
I'll fuck him up. It's weird that you said Forrest because one time I was like racing my best friend because we're toddlers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was not long ago. I'm not kidding. And she has 4 kids, or I'm sorry, 2 kids, adopted a couple others, but 2 actually had, you know. And we're running, and she used to be really fast. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Woo!" My brother goes, "Ew, Forrest." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know. I was just competitive." Because it wasn't my strong point. I wasn't like a fast runner. I hated running.
Really?
I would do it, but like even with baseball, like playing sport like softball and stuff, I just taught myself to hit the ball out of the park so I didn't have to run the bases.
Well, okay.
That's a sick
That's
problem.
the most Bo Jackson thing I've ever heard about.
I was just like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm not good. I'm not a smart runner. You know what I mean? Like a base runner. If you get on first, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Like, I'm going to fuck up somehow.
Yeah, they're gonna tag me out.
I get excited. I move too quick. I get thrown out a lot. I'm like, but then at the same time, I bat cleanup. So it's like, don't let her get on base. Just go around the bases.
I love how you were just Happy Gilmore. You were like, oh, I don't like the putt. I just
Full-blown
hit the hole in
retarded.
one.
Full-blown.
I would think you would like running only because my favorite thing about when working as a door guy, before you would go up, you'd be fucking up and down that hallway, just getting fucking jazzed up.
I love stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But I mean, like straight, like
Doing
street
push-ups.
racing. Or
Yeah.
I remember they put me on track for a while, and I was like, no, this is boring. Like I got to hit something.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
makes sense.
kind of thing.
I can see.
Sorry.
I can see how it is.
But yeah, running around at the store. I mean, the belly room steps. I probably have a zillion steps in. What do you
Wow.
think you
Yeah.
guys are at? Like,
Oh,
if
well,
you,
we didn't have to carry
if we
drinks
had
up
a
and down.
counter,
Right.
can you imagine how many times?
God.
It's fucking nightmare.
And you guys would have to carry drinks up that
Like
motherfucker.
full trays.
Oh yeah, and we were real twats in our 20s. We would do it in heels.
Wow.
Oh yeah, when Mitzi wasn't there. Oh yeah, where the fucking.
Did she not allow heel? Did she not want you guys
She
in
didn't
heels?
really say that. As long as it was black, she wouldn't notice. Like if it was black, but she also didn't like you being tall.
Mm-hmm.
So and I talk about this in my special, which is why I came on.
Oh, fuck yeah. Definitely go. One of the best comedians alive, dog. Go watch Eleanor fucking Kerrigan
It's
special.
called No Country for Old Women, and it really
awesome.
is.
That's great. That's great.
So, but yeah, so I talk about it at the end of my special when I got hired. They go, yeah. I went down during the day. You know, during the day when you first saw the Comedy Store, you're like, the fuck is this black hole, right?
Yes.
Right.
Is this a building? Is this like a real place? And so I went in, and I really didn't know much about comedy. I knew a little, you know, we watched Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Dice, Seinfeld, you know, whatever. But it wasn't like I wasn't thinking what stand-up comedy and how you go up continuously all night.
Right.
So I go in, and they go, I'm looking for a waitressing job. They go, oh, okay. And they kind of looked me up and down, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, people judge, whatever. So, and I probably was wearing a skirt and cowboy boots because I'm kind of a hoe. And I was young, bitch. And you know when you're young, you let that out. And so I was just like, I went in, and they look me up and down. They go, yeah, come back later. You have to meet Mitzi Shore. So I said, okay, because back then you had an interview with her. It was 93.
And you have no idea who she is at this time?
Not really.
Wow.
No idea.
Okay.
Nothing. And they go, Mitzi Shore. I go, yeah. And they go, wear heels. So I said, oh, okay. So I went up. I was living on Queens Road, me and Richie, your GM. Anyway.
Wow.
Richie? Oh my God. He's a GM
Richie
now.
was my roommate.
That's crazy.
And the GM, it always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Richie's the GM.
Me and Rick torture him. But anyway, so I was living up the hill, and then I remember walking down, and like my fucking shoes are sparking, you know. Thank God I only had a heel that was like this big, because I would have killed myself walking down that hill, Queens Road.
Right.
yeah.
Oh my
right.
God.
Huge.
And so I go, and I remember I got there, and I was towering over Mitzi. She was so little. And I was she goes, oh, you're from Philadelphia. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, you know Dama Herrera? And I was like, I heard of him. Yeah, because we watched him on the Rodney thing. He's from South Philly.
Yeah.
So I go, oh, yeah, I heard of him. She goes, okay, you're hired. Lose the heels.
Damn.
Oh my God.
They were fucking with me. They were fucking with me, telling me to wear heels.
Wow.
I found out later. But you know how people at the store, that I don't know if you guys did that to people, but all of the people I worked with did it.
Kind of
the hazing when we were there was a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah.
I think there was a time when the hazing was a lot more intense.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, like they would tell people, like I mean, I could think of a few things, but even showcasing for her, like a couple comics were like, you know what you should do?
Oh my God. Oh.
I mean, Rick has a great story about, I forgot the guy's name, but he would tell him to bark and do the dog bit constantly, even if it doesn't go with the joke. And he goes, she hated it. And then we never saw him again.
Oh my God. The guy out there who barked for Mitzi Shore is in the world.
Well, he would just be like, today we don't tell a regular joke, and then he'd go, woo, woo, and he'd chase his tail. It was real stupid. And Rick goes, no, she loves that.
Oh my God. What's crazy and scary though is she might actually have loved that.
It would have been amazing if she came back and been like, you know, she was on the purple pills today, and she was like, that was to Ralph that.
Yes, okay, so you came to the store in 93.
Yeah, but the height thing is what I'm saying. Like, they don't want you to, you're not the show. The show
Right.
is the comics. You cannot get in the way of the show. So we had to like squat down. That's why she didn't like height. So the heel thing, we would get in trouble if we were in front of the show. So now we're in heels and we're squatting. My thighs were like this big. They were just fucking monster. Because we had to be down. If she was in the showroom, you could not be seen in that showroom at all. Like now I think of it and I'm like, hey, Morgan, what's up? Like, you want to hold the mic for a second? I got to get something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
some of the huge ones just tower over the
Well,
audience.
he's just a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Also, even the like smaller wait staff, they don't crouch down.
No.
They put the drinks down and they don't give a fuck what's going on stage. And I'm like, hello, crouch, bitch. Like Mitzi would have fired you immediately.
For not crouching.
Absolutely.
Love that.
So that's what the height thing was. Then the heels, why it was weird.
Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, she did like that. I'm sorry, I threw you off. I apologize.
No, that's so cool. That was your first interaction with Mitzi Shore. Oh
I know.
my God, her telling you to lose
I
the
know.
heels. Oh my
Lose the
God.
heels. And I was just like, what? Oh, okay.
Did she have a scary presence when you first met? Like, was it
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this
You
is a serious
feel it.
woman.
You feel her presence. You're like, oh fuck, who is this lady? Like the aura, like it just comes off. And I even like when I would hire people, like when it got like I was there for a little bit, I would hire people and I go, look, if Mitzi's in the room, you know, you give them all the instructions. Don't do this. They didn't have to meet Mitzi at that point. She didn't want to meet them. She trusted me enough to hire them, which was amazing because she didn't trust anybody. So that was, I feel very grateful that we had that. But I didn't want to be a comic, so I didn't need anything from her other than this job to pay my rent. So I was acting and doing all, you know, wrestling, whatever I was doing, you know what I mean? Making an ass of myself. And it never interfered with my wait and tables. So when I would hire somebody, I would say, when you go in the room, they go, how will we know it's Mitzi? And then I'd always have a waitress come back just white as a ghost going, she's in the OR. I go, did you make eye contact? No. Yeah. Like they would feel it. So I knew it wasn't just the comics that would feel it.
That energy from her, that presence.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
my
definitely
goodness.
had that. You guys didn't meet her at all, huh?
No, that was past our time.
Sucks.
No. Yeah, we
No, she would have loved you guys with the diversity. That was especially you. Yeah.
She was a big wokester.
No, she started Arabian Nights. And that was, she wanted to bring peace to the Middle East. That was her real life.
That was her goal?
I swear.
Stop.
Via
I'm
a
not
main
kidding.
show at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, and and she called it Arabian Nights. Like, inappropriate. But anyway, they went on tour forever because they changed the name to Axis of Evil, and it was Maz Jobrani and Ahmed and Aaron Cater and I'm missing somebody, Sam Tripoli. I think it was just the 4 of them.
And that was Mitzi.
That was Mitzi.
Organized that.
Absolutely.
Because I remember the Access People. I remember that.
People as well.
I met like
She truly was like, we're gonna bring peace to the Middle East, and like she loved theme shows. That was her thing. Theme shows was a big deal. Night of 1,000 Guidos, inappropriate, yes.
Whoa, what is this show? What was this? What years was this? I wish I see that.
I know. And then and the worst, we had to put like those picnic tablecloths over the tables for that night. Imagine that in the main room.
Picnic, the red.
Night of 1,000 Guidos.
Night of 1,000 Guidos, and then
Who would you have on the? Would you have any big comics on those? The big Guido, like big Italian comics.
The guy Luca Polanco ran it for a while. I believe Luca was the host for the whole thing. I'm not sure exactly, but Luca would put it together, and he was really good, like getting everybody together and promoting it. Like he had a lot of connections in L.A. and he worked for. What the fuck is the pizza? Mulberry Street Pizza. So he knew everybody in Beverly Hills. Like when he first moved there, he'd bring us free pizza, which was our favorite from Mulberry Street. It was a big deal. And then he would have like Mike Ricca, Brett Ernst. Brett was like newer, but maybe Brett wasn't part of this. Maybe I'm skipping ahead. But Mike Ricca, Dom Irera, John Caponera. Dice would do it, and then I remember they all got mad because they're like, he's not Italian. I mean, he's Jewish. Whatever. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't. Luke asked me to be here, and he promoted me on the radio that I was going to be here, and Kathy Moriarty was there. So Andrew was like, well, I better go. And
Who's
better
Kathy
go.
Moriarty?
Oh, excuse me. Y'all didn't see Raging Bull? You don't know nothing?
I love Raging Bull. Is she that?
That's the blonde. That's Kathy Moriarty.
Have you never seen Raging Bull?
I've never seen Raging Bull.
By the way, that's like one thing she did. She's done a million things. But her and Dice were in a show called Bless This House on the 90s on like CBS or some NBC. I don't know. But she owns Mulberry Street. That's her thing. Her ex-husband took it over now, but it's still amazing pizza. And Kathy's great. One of the best actors. And just fucking hardcore East Coaster. But she's really funny. And Andrew was like, all right, let me go entertain Kathy. Like, he didn't care about the whole audience.
But she's there.
Yeah. And Luca was like, dude, I put your name, I said on the radio. So Andrew was like, all right. So he went. But a lot of people did get mad.
Damn, that's so funny. That's
such a comic thing to get mad at. That's such a
it's true, but she did also have It's Fun to Be a Jew, which he didn't do.
Wait, stop. That's a real show too?
I swear to God.
It's Fun to Be a Jew.
The irony. Oh, boy.
Wait, who would do It's Fun to Be Jews?
So It's Fun to Be a Jew was hosted by Bruce Smirnoff. But Bruce was the best. Bruce, very funny comic.
Yeah.
No relation to Yakov?
No.
Just a separate
Complete
Smirnoff?
different. Complete different.
Smirnoff in comedy? Oh, this is why we have you on.
Used to do his act, like it's still in my head, like it's so uncomfortable as like, because he was there all the time when I first started.
Yeah.
And Mitzi would put him early and he would go, he'd go, right now, all I have is my health. And I don't feel so good. And it was just, so when I'm on the road with Andrew, he goes, do Smirnoff. And I could do his whole act. Like, it was just stuck in my head. Like, because it was, I'd time it to my drinks and shit.
God.
And one night, like, he perfected like 20 minutes of stand-up, right? And one night we needed him to stretch, and the manager goes, what are we going to do, have him start over? I was like, that's fucked up.
That's a great thing.
But Bruce was really funny. The thing he made a mistake, the thing that bothered me that he did, nothing like what. So for It's Fun to Be a Jew, it's promoting. You want to fill it. You want to impress Mitzi, right?
Yes.
You want to keep this going. So he sold it to people as like it's a singles thing. Like a Jewish mixer, a Jewish singles. They do this a lot, like so they can meet each other, hang out, whatever, dating thing, whatever. I guess it's J-date now.
Yes.
Back in the day, we didn't have that. So
the Jews would go to a comedy show.
They would go to mixers, and you would meet other people.
Jews, yeah.
So they like to stick together. No, but the only thing that bothered me, why are we at the bank? Your dad owned this? No.
Hey guys, I don't appreciate this kind of talk. All right, base is covered.
We're good.
I'm safe. Marked safe. And So he did that, and I remember I'd wait in tables, and I'd be like, "Hi, can I get you something to drink?" It'd be like a really cute, single girl, and I'm like, "Can I get you something to drink?" She's, "Oh no, I'm gonna wait for somebody else to buy me one." I go, "I'm sorry." Like I'm thinking, "Bitch, it's 2 drinks. Like, who the fuck you waiting for?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're waiting for your friend." And I remember this lady specifically. She got so mad at me. She goes, "No, I'm waiting for someone to buy me a drink." Like she was like, "Bitch, don't fuck my vibe up. Move."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
She thought it was an actual mixer, not a comedy show.
Right. And then I realized it's happening at almost every table that has women. And I'm like, what is going on? So I went back and I go, I can't sell drinks. Like, this is crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going on. And Bruce goes, "Oh." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "I told him it was like a singles mixer and there was rabbis there and everything."
Oh, shit. You know what's crazy? People
So he
do
had
that.
to make announcements.
That's wild.
So it didn't do well, that one. But just because of the way he promoted it,
People do that now with Tinder.
With
I've met guys who get their show will be just all these hot women, and they're women who thinking they're there on a date.
Right.
Or there to meet a guy. It's crazy.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I just remember this. I literally can still see her face. That's how upset she was. Like, "You're fucking up my vibe, bitch. Like, trying to get laid here. Move." And I'm just like, "It's 2 drinks per person, bitch." Like, and then I saw it, and we tried really hard, but it didn't work. It didn't work. He didn't do the rest of them like that. That was the first one, but it was packed.
Damn.
It was packed.
Would the store be sold out at that time in like 93, 94? Like,
Well,
what
the
is it
theme
looking at?
shows helped. The
Okay.
theme shows helped. Like I said, Luca would go on the radio. So at that time, radio was, a good
Mr. King.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he would get people in, and any kind of theme shows, any kind of like benefits. Oh, we loved benefits because it was another audience,
Yeah.
Right.
In the 90s, it started like, and I think Paulie said this as well, but like, as soon as Mitzi's health started declining, so did the club.
Wow.
Because she was backing away. She wasn't putting her touch in it as much. And that was like, I would say that was like the mid 90s, so we were hit or miss. There was some nights where they were like, "Okay, if we don't get 8 people, we have to close."
And this is mid 90s.
Yeah. Like maybe a little later, like 97-ish.
Was there an issue just at the store, or was comedy in general just like that? Like, were the other clubs in LA having
I
trouble?
guess Improv Factory at that time.
Well, I wasn't allowed to go there. So, no, I'm kidding. Can you imagine?
Yeah, we were like, "Oh my God."
I'm team store. Yeah. No, I didn't know. I don't know. But I know this, that Jamie from the Laugh Factory worked for Mitzi at the store. He was a door guy. So when
Get out of here.
Yeah, when he wanted to open a club, she was like, "Okay." And she gave him like chairs and stuff. She helped him.
Right.
So she didn't have a beef with the Laugh Factory. He was later,
Right.
The Improv and her, they had their issues. But that was Bud. That was the owner, So, so Jamie, when he opened up, he would honor our tickets if we were oversold, and we would honor his tickets if he was oversold.
Really?
Yeah. So if you came to the store with a Laugh Factory ticket in the 90s, and they were packed or whatever, we would honor it. And some nights, it's the only reason we were open.
Oh my God.
So who were like at that time, who were like the names that would bring people to the store? Like, who were the ones that would like fill it out if it was filled out?
Like Dice would do a week.
Okay.
We had Martin Lawrence, unfortunately, had to do his, what's that called when you get in trouble with the police?
Community service?
Community service. I was like social service. That's not it.
Wait, so he got in trouble?
He did his community service.
Was performing at the Comedy Store?
I remember this. That's what he picked. That's what he picked. And I thought it was a great idea. And he had a great lineup. And I remember the night clearly. My first ex-fiance repped Martin, so I know Martin well. And so Martin, I remember being backstage, bringing them drinks, and they're all sitting there like down. And I go, "What's going on?" Like literally felt like everybody was crying. Aaliyah died that day. So that was the night he did it, that day.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, "Oh my God. Oh, wow." And we were all just like bummed out, completely bummed out. They did the show, but like
What was the show like?
the vibe was so fucked up backstage. Like he crushed. He did Martin,
Okay.
The crowd wasn't paying attention to anything. I think it had just come out, so they were already in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, so somebody came in and told him. Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
So it was like a weird. I just remember it being like the weirdest night because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make money tonight. But we'd have like the Smothers Brothers. You know,
Really?
We had Jackie Mason for 12 nights in a row. That was incredible. I've never seen, you know, the main room. What did you guys call the capacity?
With like around 350, 375.
Yeah, when that usually the 375 is like the max, right?
But
yeah, that's the max I think we put in.
375 was the max. That's good because I think they lowered it now. And I'm like, they gotta take that sign down. Like, we would get 405.
Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That means people.
And my pants were ripped on the side because I would hit the tables going through. And now imagine crouching and you got only hot tea and hot coffee. Fuck you, Jackie. You know what I mean? 'Cause all these older people came out. You have any tea? You have any coffee?
Oh my God.
I was pissed, but it was packed.
He did 12?
12 nights in a row. He was great. He was great. We had George Carlin come in. George did it. And I always tell the story about Mitzi. She came in the first night. She was all excited. I think George was doing he was either doing 5 or 7. He might have did a whole week. And he was just working out new stuff, you know, and in town. And me and my friend Lauren, we had to do his rider. So we got the same thing with Jackie. We did all the backstage shit. Mitzi only trusted a few people, and me, Lauren, and this other girl, Jen, we were like her top 3. And so we would, you know, do the backstage. And George Carlin, Mitzi's sitting ready to watch him. I brought her a little German wine. I put it down. No offense, but that's what she called it. Get me the German wine. All right. Oh, that I just figured it's Heil. And so I bring her a little wine, and she's sitting ready to watch him. And George did, I swear he did like 20 minutes on farting. 20.
George Carlin.
It felt like that.
Well,
It's
how
a
was it
long
going well?
fart bit. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the GOAT. That's what I love
You
hearing
can
that.
find it. I actually saw it, and it reminded me of this story. I saw it like a couple days ago on TikTok, and I was like, there it is.
Oh,
there it
my
is.
God, Eleanor, that's cool.
Because it was his last album, or maybe close to his last album, or his last hour he did. And he had been living with the heart disease, you know, for like so many years at that point. And but anyway, so he did this long fart joke, and I remember I'm waiting tables. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious, so silly, right? And I walk by, I was like, I'm thinking he's gonna say a lot of prolific shit. I'm hearing fart jokes. I walk by, and Mitzi goes, Jesus Christ, this is awful.
Oh my God.
She hated fart jokes. She hated it. And she never came back. The rest of the week, she didn't come back.
Really?
Well, she just didn't like fart jokes. Like, it was just a thing. Like, if you
I
went
get
up
it,
and
I
you
get it.
showcased, like, I would always tell people, once I found that out, I was like, do not. I don't care how good it is. Do not do that in front of her. That is the number one. She is going to fucking get angry and not pass you.
That's so funny.
Would you ever hear her fart?
No, we spent a lot of time together. Yeah. I've helped her in and out of the shower. I don't know.
No farts. Wow.
No,
What a
yeah,
badass.
we went away. We went to the Dominican Republic together.
Eleanor, what sentence did you just say? You went to the Dominican Republic with
Nothing
Mitzi Shore.
better. It was so good. Yeah.
What did y'all, like, just on vacation, just girl time?
No. That's for normal people vacation. We went for stem cell injections, and they're illegal in the United States, so we had to go to the Dominican Republic. Yeah. The two of us wearing Comedy Store sweatshirts, just fucking motoring through the Dominican Republic.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was wild.
dude.
Yeah. It's like, and I'm sorry, but I do tell this story on my special.
I want to, oh my God.
And because she literally, like, you know, Mitzi's very funny, and she could be, you know, harsh, but she was also very funny. And so I'm like, I'm sweating bullets. Because first of all, we're going through customs. She's like, there's so many Mexicans. I'm like, inappropriate. No.
Also, I love the
We're in a
comedians.
different
Like,
part. We're in a different part. And, you know, but she's like, these. And so she's just like, used to saying Mexican because she's in LA, whatever. But she might have even been getting confused. Could have been hers, but it made me laugh, whatever. And then she goes, oh. But so we were walking through customs, and like I'm seeing nothing. I'm like, where the fuck are we going? Then we go to this gorgeous resort. Gorgeous. I'm like, oh, okay. And Mitzi's just saying all the most inappropriate wrong things. So I'm tipping them $5, $10 because I feel bad, but I don't realize that's like giving them $1 million. So now they're outside our little hotel, like a whatever suite. It was because it was like a village, like a villa, like it had little individual houses that were like suites or whatever. And so now they're just outside, like, oh, hello. It's on a gorgeous golf course. I'm just fucking throwing money out. It cost me a fortune, and so they were very good to us that way. But I remember like Mitzi is sleeping, whatever. We go to this. I'm like, where are we going to get this done? And she's like, they're going to pick us up tomorrow. Don't worry. I said, okay. So they pick us up, nice car. We go to an abandoned hospital. It was literally abandoned. I'm not kidding. There was no one. And you're watching the policia go by with a donkey, I'm like, what's happening right now? What the fuck are we doing, right? And then the doctor comes in and he gives her a shot. I don't know if you know what stem cells are. But he gives her the shot right in her stomach. And she sees that I'm sweating on the side, like looking at the policia. And I'm signing a document that says if she gets sick, they will not treat her in the United States. So I'm like, oh, so if she dies, I'm fucked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like sweating, right? And she sees it and she has to break it because she's freaking out. I got to calm her down, whatever. And he puts the stem cells in and she looks at me. She goes, I hope that one had blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh my God. This woman was a savage.
You fucking bitch.
Oh, wow.
I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I probably did. Yeah, she was great. We used to have a lot of fun. I mean, she would pick on people. So fun, like haze people. Freddie Soto, I know you love Freddie. Yeah. It was somebody's birthday, and they brought in cake. And everybody's eating the cake in her office, And she goes, okay, everybody can have a piece of cake, but except for Freddie. Freddie's fat. Freddie's like, dude, what the fuck? Just waddling in, She loved to pick on it. She said she loved Freddie. Freddie was her favorite. Top notch. Yeah, we used to go for Corey, his wife, Corey, widow, whatever you want to call her. She likes widow. She was the talent coordinator. And so Mitzi would take us for her birthday or Freddie's birthday or my birthday. We would always go out to Lowry's, how you say it? In
No
LA?
idea.
Lawrys, the seasoning salt.
Oh, Lowry's. Oh, yeah,
Lowry's.
the seasoning
I
salt.
never say anything right.
Yeah.
Larry's. We used to go to Lowry's. My stupid accent, I can't figure it out. But we used to go there. Like that was our favorite place to go and eat. And she would eat she loved just watching us eat like animals. She was great. We used to have a lot of fun together.
That's awesome that she did have favorites. So she had people that she would like, if they were performing, she's going to the room to watch.
So,
absolutely.
So who were some of Mitzi's favorites back in the day?
I like Alan Steven. I don't. Some of them you wouldn't even probably know.
That's what we.
I like hearing that kind of stuff.
like hearing
Mooney
that.
Could get away with anything.
Paul
Mooney. Oh yeah.
No matter what he's doing on stage, good, bad, she's like
hours, 2 hours, doesn't matter. Mooney. Oh, it's Mooney. That's what he does. Okay. Because and I go, Paul, how come you get away with everything? And he's like, because I was here from the beginning, homie. And I was like, okay. He goes, I know all the shit. I remember when Mitzi was counting money in the register in the booth, bitch.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, all right.
Oh my God.
Okay, she was just taking money at the door. Like, what are you saying? What kind of secrets, Oh, I know where the bodies are buried. But Mooney, they had such a great relationship. But there was a guy named John Mulrooney. I don't know if you know this guy. He was one of her absolute favorites. And, he would make her laugh so hard. And then he'd, I remember moving tables. We were in the belly room. She's sitting there. Mulrooney's sitting next to her. And I'm putting something down. And he goes, hey. And I'm like, I jump because she knows I'm, you know, he knows I'm a nervous wreck because Mitzi's in there,
Right.
and I'm trying to be good. And he goes, you know, you should fire her. She's kind of jumpy. Like, I'm like, fuck you, John. And it was like they would fuck with you know, but she would just laugh at him. I'm trying to think of who else. There's so many, but it's like not coming in my head right now.
Does she have like a style that she kind of like that she maybe prefer like?
No, I think it was just that they weren't so desperate. They weren't such assholes. Like we were just had dinner last night with Peter, and we were telling a story about like
Peter
comics.
Shore, right.
Peter Shore. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You guys know him, then they don't. Peter Shore, her son, third.
The not weeds.
I mean, not weeds, not the
yeah.
baby. So whatever. So we were having dinner, and I was telling a story about how comics used to like come to her house when her health was declining. If they weren't getting spots, right? Because, you know, at that time, Princess Corey was the talent coordinator, Freddie's wife.
Yeah.
And then after her was Duncan. That's a whole nother story.
Duncan Trussell.
The Sheik. And we went from the princess to the Sheik. And then Tommy. Wow. And so
to Adam. So that was
to Adam. Yeah.
and to now Emily. Wow, that's then the order.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So she had this guy, Scott Day. He's great. We still talk all the time. He was there for like 7 or 8 years or something. So she would go through them, but at the same time, she would keep you for a long time, you know, because you were basically just a middle person. It's not like what Adam had to do or what Emily has to do.
Where they have to make the lineups.
Right, where they're coming at you. So
Yeah.
they're coming right at Emily and Adam, right? And Adam could fight him off. Emily's so sweet. She's too, you know
She's
what I
the
mean?
sweetest
So
person
she's
ever,
like,
yeah.
hi, yeah, okay. And he just walks away. Like, you know, where Adam's like, no, you stink,
Yeah.
you know? And I want her to do that, but it's hard.
She's such a sweetheart.
So I get that, but nobody would go to Mitzi. And then all of a sudden, her health started declining, and they would show up at the house, and they would go to Mitzi. And so this comic was fucking really annoying, and he was like, I just think I should be getting better spots. And she's like, okay, we're going to re-showcase. And so she goes in, she does a re-showcase, and he goes up, and he comes on, and he's like, right? And she goes, you know what? We're just going to not book you anymore.
Oh,
Good.
wow.
Bye, bitch.
Good. That's what should happen when you
Yeah,
fucking
and he was
complain.
gone. She unpassed him right in front of us, and we were screaming, laughing.
Oh, was his name already on the wall?
Oh, yeah, and his picture.
Oh,
God damn. Wow. That's brutal.
Oh, it was
That's
great.
That's
It
what
was
you
that
get.
is what you
Yeah,
get.
That's what you get.
That's I love
Go
that she does
push
shit like
it,
that.
man. Like, just do your job and fucking whatever. But they were trying to take advantage of her.
in her,
Health.
And her whole health, yeah.
And it was all about also my other favorite thing. They'd be like, you know what? I know this guy. He's a great like yoga instructor. And like, if you do these steps, your sickness will go away. You know,
Yeah.
they love to get involved with her health.
Oh, trying
And
to
then
save
she'd
her.
be like, get rid of them. And so they would be abolished. Or if they said, you know, I can fix your car. You ain't fixing that Alfa Romeo. Let that go. You gotta let that go.
Damn.
And she had this little Jaguar, but the Alfa Romeo was the hardest one to fix. But they would always say they could fix it. They couldn't. You couldn't get the parts. And she'd be like, they don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, they're just comics that want stage time.
Yeah, of course they
And
don't know what they're doing.
They have no idea what they're doing, and they're overshooting it. And I mean, it was crazy. It really was like it was the inmates running the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
There was no, yes. Is that Mitzi?
Yeah, sometimes she comes in as an air
Kidding,
conditioner.
she wouldn't come to Austin.
Every once in a while, though, seriously, the picture of her and Mitzi's in the mothership,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the Mitzi's bar,
Does
that
it
picture
look
of
at
her.
you?
So, yes,
Oh,
it'll look
yeah.
at you, and that light will flicker
That light
every
will
once in a
flicker.
while.
Oh, that's funny.
Every once in a while, that light, just that light, not any of the other lights. So that is I don't know what's going on, kind of weird
Do you guys
thing.
believe that the store was haunted?
Yes.
He did, I didn't. I
Yes.
never.
I 100%.
Black
I
people
didn't have
don't
that
believe
feeling.
in ghosts.
No, we believe in magic.
Yeah, it seems like they,
Believe in magic.
it does seem like they have enough shit to worry about in the real world.
Let's not bring the
let's not bring the paranormal.
try
into
not to
this.
bring the Outer Banks in. That'd be great.
Damn,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's hard to worry about ghosts when you worry about slavery. And like, they're worried about just. I'm trying to think of
Hold on a second. Are you worried about being a slave? I miss a meeting? What's happening? I didn't know we were back. And we're back. Jesus Christ. Like, fucked up.
I've been more just like passed down, like through trauma. That they're worried about so many other shit.
Oh yeah,
not ghosts.
Yeah. But it's true. Like, yeah, I don't. I'm like that. Like, people bring up ghosts. I'm like, no, that's not a thing.
But so you didn't believe the store was haunted?
Not when I first got there, and I was like, you guys are fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm a hood rat, so it's like,
yeah, you're fucking Philly
if
guys.
I can't hit it, I don't believe in it. I can't see it, punch it.
What
in the throat.
changed you?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't change me per se. It just made me a little more open. And I'd be in Mitzi's office filing, right? And her radio was going on and off, and I thought she was playing with it. So, because I had my back to her. So I'm just filing. She goes, knock it off. And I go, you don't want me to put them in there? Because now I'm being yelled at.
Yeah.
She goes, not you, Gus. I go, who the fuck is Gus? You know, and there's nobody else in here. And she goes, the ghost, he's fucking with the radio.
Stop, Eleanor, stop.
I'm not kidding. She
Stop
said
right
it
now.
just like that. And I was like, I'm going to go. I'll just like working at night. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's happening.
Did Gus stop?
Stop making it real.
Yeah. Did Gus stop in that moment?
Stop making it real. What are you doing? Bring back slavery. Wait. Yeah, she called him Gus. She said that somebody told her that was what his name was. And I go, wait, do you really think? I go, maybe it's just a short in the thing, you know? And she goes, nope, I'm not even near it. It's a CD, so it shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I just let it go. And then I'm waiting tables a couple nights later, and Steve Pearl, the great Steve Pearl, one of my favorite comics of all time, is on stage. Nobody knows who he is because Robin Williams stole his act. And anyway.
Whoa! I have heard about the Robin Williams thing, but I didn't hear that
paid
Steve
him for.
Pearl.
Robin paid him and like helped him a lot. So
Okay.
Steve loves him. He doesn't hate him, but he definitely.
But that happened.
Steve's the real. Yeah, Steve's the guy. Steve was so fucking funny. And
Really?
this guy
Comedy's
was my
nuts.
favorite
Comedy's
comic when I
nuts.
first started at the store. He was.
Do you know how much you got paid for the act?
That part I don't know, but
Okay.
he helped him get a radio show. He helped him with a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So they're tight.
He
they
took
were
care of
tight.
him. He
Yeah,
took
yeah,
care of
yeah.
him. Okay.
Wow.
They were
wow,
tight.
wow.
And
Yeah.
Steve still lives in Vegas. You can catch him in Vegas performing. And he's so funny.
Right.
And so immediately I clicked with Steve because I was like, this guy's my favorite, right? And he was so fucking bizarre, so all over the place. I can remember every single word. Me and this other manager used to, not a manager of the club, like an agent, like a industry manager from a Burlstein Gray. Wow. We still do his act to this day to each other. We were obsessed, but they couldn't do anything for him because there was somebody bigger. It just didn't work because it would sound like you were doing him. You know what I mean? Because Robin got so big.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so he's on stage in the main room and he's doing his thing, and I'm waiting. It was packed this night, and I'm waiting tables. I'm in C in the main room, so that's the middle.
Yes.
The main room stage. I'm crouched down, putting drinks on the table, and Steve started doing this Sam Kinison bit. Like he would do it like a thing with Sam, and he's like, oh, and he just started screaming and doing this. I want to say it was like. Was it Lucy or something? I forget exactly how it goes, but he's talking about Sam Kinison, and he was telling a story about him being at the store and then mixing it with something else, and then he just started yelling, and all of a sudden all the lights went out and the music went up, and the sound guy Phil was in the hallway. He was not in the booth. He was nowhere near that booth, and nobody was near those lights. Nobody was. Phil was eating, like standing, like. Getting a drink or something in the hallway, and he looked in like, the fuck is going on? All the lights went off for like, it felt like an hour, but it probably was only like a minute, and then went back up and the music got louder because Sam used to do this thing about being a preacher and music, and he would talk to the ghost and fuck with them at night. He goes, I want to meet you. In the like late night, nobody was there. Yeah. Come out!
Oh my god!
Him and Carl LeBeau used to try to summons the ghosts out, and that's what Steve was doing, making fun of what he used to do, and that happened. And I was just like, I was frozen with a full tray of drinks. I didn't move, and I was just like, And then I saw Phil poke his head in, and then the fucking thing went, and then Phil went running to go upstairs to figure out what was going on.
And no one's up there.
No, just little cute Phil Roar.
And Gus.
Wow. Yeah, I heard that about Kinnison, is that he would go and do that like before his death, even, right? Like.
Oh yeah, he would do it all the time. Carl LeBeau too. Carl was scared of them. Carl said he used to, because they were homeless for a little bit. Sam and Carl, they moved out from Texas. They didn't have any place, so they would sleep at the store. And Carl said he was sleep. Now he drank a lot, so it's hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did more than just drinking, but he said he was sleeping in the main room. And this was one of my favorite things he would do, come tell ghost stories. But he was so convincing, you'd be like, okay, I'm on board. But said he was sleeping on the booths, like along like B or D. And he was sleeping there, like, because it's like straight. So he's sleeping and he felt somebody pulling his leg, and then he was literally being dragged, he said.
Wow.
And I was like, and you came back here? He goes, oh, yeah, because we used to sing to them. We used to sing to them. And I knew they wouldn't hurt me. They were just playing with me. I was like, okay. And then we had him on our podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts ever at the Comedy Store podcast. And he sang that song. And me and Rick are like, okay. And he's singing, he's talking to the ghost. And then he bangs the table. And the two of us jump out of the fucking seat. And we were like, oh, what was that? He got us good. Motherfucker. Yeah, he was great. Carl LeBeau is one of my favorite. God rest his soul. But yeah, it was wild. But that night scared me. And then we went to the Hyatt, Andaz, whatever. It was Hyatt back then. And we go to the Hyatt. We go, hey, did you guys have a blackout? We're looking to find out, like, what? Cause I'm out chain smoking. Did you guys have a blackout? You guys, is there something going on around the street? House of Blues caused this problem? Like, freaking out. Yeah. And they were like, no, what are you talking about? Nothing. So it was just the main room.
Have you
Not
ever,
even the OR. Just the main
Did you
room.
ever have an experience?
I not like that intense. There's just the one experience that I really remember is I was there I was there early. We were writing a sketch. We had like a sketch group at the time. And so I was
so gay.
Yeah. So it was like a you know who ran it? Punky Johnson.
Punky.
Oh my God.
So gay.
Punky.
That's great point. Great point. That's super gay.
That's very gay. But Punky,
all connections. Whoa.
Yeah, Punky got a lot of us to be on a sketch show.
Okay.
And then lo and behold, now she's on SNL. Like it's like a crazy. But so I was writing a sketch for that. And I was there early. I was working the OR. So I'm there at like maybe 4. Like really early, and I'm like, I'll just set up. I'm here. I'll set it up before I go get some food or whatever, right? And as I'm setting it up, completely dark OR, I just remember feeling like, oh, like there's an energy in here, and it's telling me to get the fuck out of here. Ooh. Like I could tell, and you know what's crazy is behind the bucket seats that they have in the back. There's the oil outline of everyone's head appears. So when you're in the OR by yourself, it looks like there's 5 heads just in the back of the room. And so I just remember just being like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Just go.
Just go. Like it's telling me to go.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Like genuine
You definitely
fear.
feel weird things certain times.
No, I would feel in the main room when you have to go get the ladder at night. When you have to go get the ladder at night, like the main room's done. The OR is still going, but now the OR like dawns up. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go change the marquee.
Yeah.
That every once in a while you would feel, I mean, but then again, I was more nervous that just like Boone Shakalaka was gonna grab my dick. Like, it wasn't really about a ghost.
Let me grab your dick.
Exactly. I was more worried
He's a
about
ghost
that.
there now. You grab people's dick. You wanna buy this for $1? No. Where is that? Yeah, Boone's a fucking, but yeah, there was scary stuff like that. Like one of them would pop out, but there was also that fear, I'll tell you this, we did something for you guys for a while, since being back full time, they only put on the marquee shows nightly and they didn't have any names. So there was nobody doing the marquee.
Right.
Which angered Rick and a few other people.
That's part of being
That's part of doing it. You got to get up on that ladder and risk your life every night.
Comedy Store Podcast brought it back.
Yeah.
Good.
If you don't fall off.
Everybody was complaining about it.
Yo, that's so funny. How what's crazy? I hate people who are like, "Hey, I went through something," which means you went through something. I usually don't like that.
then
But you got to get your fucking ass
you
on
get
that
up
ladder.
on that ladder. Yeah.
Get up on that ladder.
You gotta almost fall off while putting Bobby Lee's slider off, or you're not a door guy.
Or you're not a fucking
Bullshit.
door guy.
That's
His name's
right. And they all said it, and you guys got slats.
oh,
so
those
you,
fucking. And you,
yeah,
oh
but
my
you
God.
were easy. Imagine a fucking letter.
The letters. And then I
Letters are
heard
better.
And then the letters are way.
The slats got stuck, so what you'd have to do is you'd be up 20 feet on the ladder, and the only way to get the slat out
Both
is you have to
hands.
shake it violently with
With
both
both
hands.
hands.
So
So
I
that's-
see what you're saying. So you're like, okay,
Yeah.
so you had the
The
danger
letters
of
were
that.
so much better.
Yeah, 'cause then you
Like,
just go-
not
Spelling
even close.
Steve Ranazizi
Is
out
way-
is
Yo,
fuck you.
I remember my first night working. I had to put up Steve Ranazizi on the marquee, all the letters. I was so nervous, I put the Z's on backwards.
Yes.
So I had to go back
How
out
many Z's?
at
How many
2 in the
S's?
morning and change the Z's around.
So good. That's what you get. That's
God,
what you do.
You bleed on that thing because the sliders will also
Yeah, you
cut
take
your
the-
fingers.
Hell
So
yeah.
like there'd be just blood on fucking Ali Wong's name.
Yeah.
As it should be. It's on you, beef. How great was she in that, by the way?
fantastic.
Man.
God, it's one of the best
I
shows
love
I've seen in a
Allie. I
while.
think she's terrific.
No, she's one of the best.
She fucking crushes, and she's such a great little actress. Like, I want to punch her in the face.
Yeah, she is
Love
such a
her
good
so
actress. I want
much.
to punch her in the
Yeah,
fucking
she
face.
really
That
is.
is-
Like, damn.
no, she was absolutely like Emmy award winning. Like you're watching it going, oh, this is like. I feel like I'm watching like a Meryl Streep level. Like this is real acting. Like she was
Yeah.
acting her goddamn ass off.
Right.
Like she seemed like a truly crazy
Yeah,
psycho
she's
bitch in
got
that
it.
thing.
She's got it.
Yeah, like whoa, this is a
Yeah.
scary kind of like crazy
she
lady.
seemed like a psycho.
I mean, that show.
By the
That
way,
show
it's
was like
one of the only characters I've related to in a long time. I'm like, this is my. Is she playing me? This is weird. This is
Cheats
weird.
on her husband and shoots a guy. It's like crazy.
Her going to get that gun, I'm like, hell, I am
Oh, it's
her. I
amazing.
am you are me. We are one, lady. Like, I was loving it.
Yeah, she is a gangster.
Do you
She's
remember
a
when she
gangster.
showed up to the Comedy Store?
I do, but she showed up out of nowhere. But I was doing stand up at the time, so she, I was like, "Who is this adorable fireball?" You know, like
Yeah.
and she crushed. She would crush. So, I guess she developed up in San Francisco,
Yeah.
Yes,
and
that's where she
then
started.
came down. But it was like, it felt like, you know, usually you meet people, watch people rise up.
Yeah,
you know, like we always joke about Sebastian.
Was he as bad as the stories were saying?
Oh yeah, if not worse.
Yeah, the stories are
Really?
crazy about
And
him.
one time he was on stage at the Laugh Factory, and me and my best friend Lauren were there, and we were sitting up in the balcony. I was waiting to go on. At this point, I'm doing stand up, and we had been talking. Sebastian went on, and he's on stage, and he just started telling a story. He goes, you know, I used to be really bad at stand up, and he goes, if you don't believe me, ask them. We were like, shut up. Like,
So
But-
what flipped it around for him?
so I think just the stage time. I think
Interesting.
just the belief, like somebody believing in you, because he believed in himself for sure, which was great, and he was doing his thing, and he was relentless. You know.
Yeah.
She passed him, and we were all like, "What the fuck?" You know, because it wasn't great. And then she put him on at 1. She moved him to the belly room. Then she put him back at 1. You know, then he started like gradually kind of coming a little earlier.
Climbing
like,
the time
You know,
ladder.
you got
Yeah.
it. That
Yeah.
time ladder's tough.
Oh,
but
man.
for a long
Yes,
time, he
Everest.
was in the back for a long time. But that helps you grow. And then he just caught on, and I always joke that, I mean, I don't joke, but I tell the story that one time he's in the OR and he's just crushing. He's killing it. And she goes, I really surprised myself with that.
Oh my God, what a gang. This lady's awesome, dude. Fuck
But
that
it was
lady.
true. It was like,
So
because
amazing.
she saw something, but she couldn't quite figure it out. But then Sebastian, like, to his credit and to what all comics should do, the push, the get on stage, the being on every night as much as you can, whatever. Like, he was still waiting tables at the Four Seasons, and he'd come to the Comedy Store, and, you know, I'd see him pacing. I go, what are you doing? What's wrong? And he's like, he's running the light. I got tables.
Oh my God. That's so awesome.
Like, oh shit! Right now, I'm like, is it Eddie Griffin? Because Eddie Griffin used to go there all the time. I was
so
like, I
cool
could
to
text him and tell him, hey, don't fuck around. Sebastian will be right back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like unbelievable to me. That's dedication. That's
Yeah.
when you're putting it all on the line. And he every day would just ask people questions, talk to people, get out there shaking hands, kissing babies, and open for dice. And Sebastian's clean. It's a little bit of a wrong fit, but it worked.
Yeah.
Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it did. Sometimes it didn't. But that again makes you grow.
Right.
And he just he's a beast now.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's one of my favorite things I got to see there, other than watching Chris Rock do Bring the Pain.
Really? You saw that there?
Well, I was lucky enough because my first ex-fiance was his agent. I make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But did I have fun along the way? Yeah. So my first ex-fiance was a booking agent, and he repped, he got fired. You'll like this one, not you so much. No, okay. He got fired from William Morris for catering to his black clients. And I swear to God. And so he left. And when he left,
I'm supposed to be on William Morris's side.
yeah.
No. Stop.
Pick a side, bitch. When he left, all his clients left with them because they were coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock,
Wow.
Joe Torre, Del Givens, Tommy Davidson. Beast.
These are major
right?
acts.
Yeah. And then, Monteria Ivy, who did the Yo Mama jokes, Yo Mama books, Yo Mama jokes.
Wow.
He put a book out, the Yo Mama jokes or something. And then the Russell Simmons deal was about, they all did that together. That was Martin and Billy, they put that together. So, Russell and Billy, I should say. And then they picked Martin to host. But still, it was like a big deal. So Chris was working on Bring the Pain, which is one of the
Greatest specials.
One of the great specials of all
possibly all time. Yeah, I don't know. It's up there. It's
If somebody said Bring the Pain is a great special of all time, I'm not like, it's
Oh.
like, okay.
Okay,
you
that's
can-
your
100% fair.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
You
fair-
can absolutely make that argument.
Fair assessment.
If there was-
Yeah.
If there was a Mount Olympus
Yeah.
of specials, it would be a major god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would come to the store and work out, right?
Yeah.
But then, Billy had to go with him. So I would go with my fiance, and we watched at the Riviera, and then we went to Jersey and watched, and I just watched it kind of like, but I had, again, I'm not
You
a comic.
saw Bring the Pain.
Yeah.
You saw,
it grow.
Wow.
I saw it grow
Wow.
into wow. And Chris to me is such a great comic. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I've seen him run clinics in that fucking OR, and it's unbelievable. But like watching him develop that, and then watching the special, later. Billy and I broke up, but special was great.
The
fantastic.
special was actually timeless.
And when 100%.
Special will last forever.
Well, he did thank them when he won. Was it Cable Ace or Emmy? What do they call it now? Emmy. I think it's
That's
the Emmy.
Yeah, the Emmy for
But I
comedy.
think Cable Ace and Emmy were the same thing. They just, how they put comedy in the corner.
Yeah, comedy never gets the
Baby's
respect.
always in the corner. They just leave us over there. But so when he won, he did thank them because it was like, this whole tour.
Yeah.
So I got to see it in a lot of different cities, a lot of different places, you know what I mean? Just watch it grow. And then when he even coming back to the store, I'm waiting tables, and I'm just watching. I'm like, oh, wow, that bit changed. Okay, that bit. It grew to this. Oh, wow. I didn't know he was going to go there with that. You know what I mean? Like, I just remembered in my head, like I could see it so clearly. So I had no interest other than, oh, that's cool. He's an artist.
Yeah.
I still don't want to be a comic.
When did that transition happen for you?
Well, when Freddie died, because he's an asshole. And
Yeah, when they die, they're the fucking worst. It's
idiots.
so annoying when they die.
well, when Freddie died, like
We'll
Freddie
say, for the
Soto.
people, Freddie Soto. He had a great Comedy Central presents. That's how I heard about him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's on YouTube. It's me and Eleanor talking about Freddie. It's out there somewhere. Just search that up. It'll
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you were doing it, but I don't remember they come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Freddie was one of the people that would always say, you should be doing stand-up, we could go on the road, we could make some money. Because
Wow.
you want to, when you get to a certain level, you want to go out with your friends.
Right.
Yes.
Like, people are like, why do they take them? I'm like, because they can stand them.
That's a big
Okay?
thing, yeah.
That's why. Oh, they're not that funny. They can hang with that person. Doesn't matter.
Yes. They have to be with them for a month, for so many hours.
Sometimes. So you got to be able to tolerate somebody. And and so whatever. So he was like, you should be doing stand up, and he would always get me these like auditions. Like, is this a comedy? Is it this? Is it that? I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was not good. I wanted to be Meryl Streep. I don't know why he wants me to make people laugh. I can make people cry.
I love that.
I make you cry. And yeah, so when Freddie passed, it just like everything just flashes. Mm-hmm. It just got weird, and like it was like a year and a half later, I think. Yeah, because he died 2005. I started in 2007.
Damn.
So
at the Comedy Store, first place you went up?
Mm-hmm.
OR or Belly?
Belly. Because I wouldn't dare disrespect
the
original room. Are you out of your fucking
That's why I was
mind?
curious.
Mm-hmm. Please don't ever just come there for the first time. I ain't kidding. Do whatever the fuck you want. But like for me, because I worked for Mitzi so long and I held it in such high regard.
Yeah, you knew how much it mattered in that stage.
Sure.
It
took me a long time to even walk in the main room. Like, I wouldn't dare, because I knew what she built that stage for, and it wasn't me, for sure. Not especially at that moment, But anyway, so I called Mitzi and I said, hey, I want to try a one-woman show. And do you think I could do it in the Belly Room? Adam Barnhart said he'd put me on. The greatest. And said he'd put me on his show. And she was like, that's terrific. That's what we have the Belly Room for, the one-woman shows, because Whoopi did hers up there for years, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, wow, you saw Whoopi do hers there?
I didn't see it. Okay. I wasn't there for that. But Mitzi said she did it up there. And there are pictures of Whoopi in the Belly Room doing her, working that out, which is a terrific show if you've ever seen it. I can't even think of the name, but she had all the characters.
The Color Purple. No.
It's fucked up.
Ghost? Is that what you're talking about? Ghost?
Anywho. So whatever. So that I can't think of the name of the special, but it's excellent. And so I was like, okay, so I'll do that. And then my second call was to my second ex-fiance, who happens to be Andrew Dice Clay. And I was like, hey, don't get weirded out. I know I quit the store and you, but you can't quit me, motherfucker. You can't quit me. So, we broke up. I swear to God, this is so awful, but people are like, how do you guys still hang out? Because when we broke up, we were together for like 5 years, but when we broke up, it was like, okay, we're good, right? Yeah, okay, like that.
Oh, wow. You guys are best friends. You guys are always together.
You're on tour with him all the time.
But we were also friends before, like for a long time. And then like he just went through this divorce and like a bad time, and I was going through and I just fell in love with his kids and just, you know what I mean? So just whatever, we're all still real close, so we just keep it that way. And but I didn't want to disrespect him either. Like, I called Mitzi first because she's the boss, and then I called him because that's his house. You know, he's a Babe Ruth over there. You know,
right.
So I'm like, I go, look, I don't want you to be weirded out. I'm gonna try. He goes, all right, I'll come see it. And so I invited him, and he came with his new girlfriend.
To your first set.
Yeah. Oh, one of. I wouldn't say it was the first. It was one of.
That's still one of the biggest comics in the world coming to watch you in your first couple sets.
I remember,
at that point, the only arena act ever.
I mean,
oh shit! Yeah, you're right. 2007. No, maybe Dane Cook.
Oh, Dane Cook, 2007.
Dane
you're right. I
Cook
thought
might
it was
have been.
Yeah, Dane Cook was in arenas by then, but like one of the two.
And so it was just
some pressure.
I was a little uncomfortable, and that was another one in the Belly Room. Katie Seabury was up there. I don't know if you guys remember Katie, waitress, one of my favorite waitresses at the store. She liked to drink a little, and
a waitress at the store.
Listen, you know how we talk about goats? Katie was the goat, and she took it to another level. So, I mean, she's like, Eleanor, when the fuck you going up? She's from Boston.
So funny.
So she's like, Dice is here to see you. He's got a fucking new broad with him. And I was like, it's okay. I hooked them up. It's good. And so whatever. So he came. Katie was up there. And so I was a little nervous because it's like, these are people. Katie's somebody I hired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adam Barnhart. I was even nervous. But Adam and Cynthia Levin were helping me from the get. So I was doing little bits at the end of his show on Sundays. So when Andrew came to see me, I was probably maybe a month in, maybe.
Wow.
And maybe even less than that. But so, because it's weird, because he comes, and I remember this guy passed out in the showroom, in Adam's showroom, and I just fucking roasted him. And Katie's going, should we fucking check on him? And I just roasted him, and I'm like, hey, man, that's not how my set works, And I'm just like, you come out of whatever you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then I just, he got up, he goes, I'm good. Are you good? And so I kept, I'd do a joke, and I'd be like, you good? You know what I mean? Like, whatever it was. And I just keep playing with this guy, and it had, you have a good set, like one of your first good sets.
Yeah.
Where you're, in it.
Right.
Not other than, here I am.
Yeah, but you're like, wow, I'm on stage.
Even if you get laughs, you're still like that performy type.
Yeah.
Right.
So afterwards, Andrew was like, you're doing stand-up, stupid. That's not a one-woman show. And I'm like, no, I'm an actress. Do you know Meryl Streep?
You just roasted a guy on stage.
I want to be Emma Thompson. He's like, who are you? What is wrong with you? And so it was just so, yeah. So he said, let's, at the time we had a show on VH1, a reality show. Because when we were dating, we did a reality show.
Really?
Yeah.
Eleanor, what was the name of this reality
Dice
show?
Undisputed, I believe, or Dice.
Wow.
I have to look it up.
Well, I'm gonna look that up too.
VH1, it's out there
Somewhere,
trust.
definitely.
It's always. And
On Tubi or something like that. It's out there somewhere.
they'll find it. It was so bad.
Oh, she's looking it up right
Dice,
now.
Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay reality show.
Andrew hated it, and we did too. It broke us up for the most part. It was
Wait,
too
the
much.
reality show?
Well, I mean, I guess we were already going through it, and to be honest, 90% of it was my fault. Like, I was devastated over Freddie.
Dice Undisputed. Go down a little bit.
I was devastated over Freddie. What is it?
Damn.
Is that what it was called? Yeah, VH1. There it is. Yeah, Dice Undisputed.
As Falls Clays, he struggles to recapture his past popularity while dealing with his fiance.
Oh my God, that's you!
You have to be dealt with.
Oh my God.
That is so fucking accurate. It's uncomfortable. I just remember this one scene. We were in a. I'm gonna out Andrew, but he talks about he don't give a shit. He loves to shop. I mean, shop. Like, if you want to go look for curtains, you guys could go out all fucking day.
Right.
I'm not like that. I'm scratching my nuts. Like, how long we doing this shit, right? And we were in a fabric store. It's just his favorite place on earth. And he's picking out curtains, right? But he had already picked them and didn't even tell me. And I was like, so I don't get a decision? And I start losing it.
Oh, this is just says. Oh no, that's actually posted by.
Oh, that's
Dice.
that's our, the shit we do.
On yeah.
And I mean, literally, I'm sobbing in this fucking store, and they aired it.
Oh my goodness. Andrew Dice Clay, Dice Undisputed, 2007.
No, that's is that all of it?
You
or
don't
is
think that's it? The episode? We only did 6. I
Oh
believe.
right, so that's is this all? Can you
Oh,
click
look,
this?
and it is 2007.
Yeah, click that.
Click that.
Val. I'm just curious.
Yeah, is this all the episodes?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is all.
Oh my.
This is so good. He did all this, by the way.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
Oh my God, 224,000 views.
He's Dice.
Dice,
Yeah,
10 years.
they
yeah.
don't remember me. There she is.
Oh wow, there you
Wow.
are being dealt with.
Got it, bitch. Oh my God, I gotta tell Andrew to look this up because he'll love that it says being dealt with.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knew that.
That's crazy. That's
Oh.
wild.
But yeah, I mean, there was
My
so
goodness.
this opening though, to be quite honest, is one of the greatest things. And he put this all together, and he would edit it himself. Seriously, watch this for 1 second. It's not that
Okay.
long. This is
Damn.
Madison Square Garden.
Oh my Lord.
Whoa. He was a real deal rock star.
Yeah, bro.
Oh. And then wait, what was it goes? It's so good. And this is what he would do all day.
Damn.
Yo, he is such
And
a
he would
comic.
cut this all together, all himself. He did it. They didn't do this.
He did this.
Yeah.
Damn.
What a
and
comic.
That's his little star in the OR. Damn. You were just around this all the time. This
God.
energy.
Look at this. Why? Why did
I mean,
Why did they use it? Yeah.
Damn.
But it's such a cool if when you watch it later, you have to watch it now. But
Yeah. We're
there's
just
so
saying
much great I
we're
forget
kind of
how
watching
long it
all
is.
this.
I forgot Andrew likes to long edit. Like this is real.
oh my goodness.
That's the Cadillac. There she is.
Oh, just the back of you.
Being dealt with.
Eleanor and Andrew. It just said Eleanor and Andrew on the cassette.
Oh, they were filming a movie on Sunset Boulevard, so we stole their lighting. My
Wow.
boys, Max and Dylan.
Max.
Ew, look at the dark hair.
I remember running into Max at open mics at like Flappers and stuff.
Yeah.
We were in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
What
we
a
went
wild
everywhere
time.
together. We had so much fun, but and
Wow.
we still have silly times, whatever. But what he said was, we were doing the reality show, so he's like, why don't you come on the road with me? Because we got the reality show, they
Yeah.
know you from that, so let's do it.
Right.
So I had like 3 months or 2.5 months to prepare to go on the road with him, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the leap, right?
Wow.
And we went to somewhere in like Southern California. I forget, fuck was the name of that place. I have the jacket. I still have my jacket. They gave us a jacket. It was a big suede jacket, but it was somewhere and I did great, right? And both places in Northern California, great, no problem, right? Loved it. Big theaters. One was like outdoors. It was like a 1,500 seater, and it was like this creepy. We lost the sound in the middle of it, and there was a great moment before that. I always keep Freddie's picture in my back pocket, and I would rub it at that time. Like I would be like, okay, now it's like literally a shell. The picture's not even there anymore.
Wow.
It's just the paper. I fucked it up. I got to get a new one. But I used to rub it for like good luck. I'm like, all right, Freddie, you got to help me through this because I don't know what the fuck I'm getting into.
Right.
And the sound went out, and the show was delayed an hour. A dice crowd drinking. So Andrew goes, hey, and this is my second show with him.
Oh
He
my
goes,
God. I'm
hey,
getting nervous.
if you don't want to go on, don't do it. They're rowdy. I'll just have Wheels go out. He'll do it, and he'll take the bullet, and then I'll try to get through it. And I go, no, I'm going. And I'm rubbing Freddie, and Wheels comes over, and he goes, even he can't help you now.
Great line. Oh, it's great.
It's like, you motherfucker. And I was like, shit, okay. So I went out, and I don't know where the confidence came from. Crushed, great, love, 6 minutes tops.
Like months in at a theater or that big of a venue.
And I was like, but they did know me from the show. They're like, Eleanor. So there was that little grace period.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
And then I'm basically shitting on Andrew. I think all my first jokes were about Andrew.
Right.
Like, he comes like, ugh, like it was dumb.
But actually,
Dumb. Yeah, 100%. Fingerless gloves are in me. And like, gross. So I was like, okay. So then we go to New York. By the time we get to New York, the show's canceled. That's over. They didn't watch it, oddly.
Right.
So we did theater in the round, Westbury Music Theater in Long Island. So we're in Long Island. Andrew's like, you know what you got to do? You got to wear like short shorts and like, the high boots. Like, show them your tough attitude. And I'm like, short shorts, tough attitude. I'm going to show my lips. I don't know what you're saying.
Right.
And so, but I believed him because I figured he knows a thing or two about costumes.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I was like, okay. So I was like, I got this cute little top, and I had like a little half bra, and I had the short shorts and the high boots. And my sister drove up 2 hours from, thank God she didn't bring her friend Georgie. R.I.P. He would have killed everybody. But Karen came up by herself, And yeah, her name's Karen. Don't get excited. And she's not one of them. But so Karen came up 2.5 hours just to come see her little sister. Woo, right? And the 2 guys go on before me. They take an intermission there. So, but while they were out, like fights were breaking out and shit. So it was a mayhem. You know, it was already mayhem. The intermission, then I go out and I'm like confident because I got this fucking hello. Look at this outfit, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really have jokes, but dude,
Right.
fucking kidding. So I go out and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm like, getting all riled up, and it's in the round, so it's behind you. And I said something like, I'm from Philly, and they go, boo, fuck the Eagles, fuck the Phillies, you know, boo, and I'm like, fuck, right? And then I started doing a joke, and all of a sudden I hear, where's Dice? And I go, he's up my ass. You want to tickle his feet? Like they got me out of my nervousness for a minute. Right. And then all of a sudden I go into another joke. Like that got slight laugh. I mean like a murmur of a laugh. Like a And then I thought it was great, but they didn't. And then it got so much worse from there that they just started, at my next bit, I started doing this, you know, guess who's coming to dinner, Dice kind of bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my mom was like, is that the guy who puts the cigarette in his ear? I'm like, it doesn't go in his ear, bitch. And so I'm trying to do the little jokes I wrote, and they were not having it. Oof. And the booing got louder and louder. And it went from here to here to here.
Oh, my God.
It went in circles.
You could feel the back. You're like, is that the back? Is that? And so I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm shrinking. I'm sweating, and my cute little half bra slid down, and now I got tumors on my stomach. My little fake tits are down there, you know. I was stressed. I was soaking wet. I was like, oh my God. And I'm trying. I'm like, anyway, so whatever fuck was coming out of my mouth.
And there's booze coming from behind you.
The boos are loud.
Oh my God.
Now they're starting to chant Dice, right? And I turn, and my sister is like right there, and I see her get up, and she goes like this. What do you want to do? Fight this whole fucking, like I saw her
I love that.
I just saw her go like this, like, you want to fight this whole fucking room? I'll start in this section. You meet me in the middle. Like, that's how it felt. And it took me, thank God I saw that, because it brought my heart back to life for a sec, because I think I was numb out there. And she went like this, and it just made me laugh. And then I was like, okay, all right, you guys ready for like I just turned it into bringing out Andrew.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I give him a huge intro. I run off. I'm pulling my brow up as I'm running off, and I go up, and he goes, "Fuck them! I'm not going out there. Fuck, we're leaving. We're leaving." I go, "We're not leaving. They want you. They don't want me." Now I got to give him a pep talk.
Oh my God. After your bomb?
I was just raped. Let me give you a help. Let me get you out. But I felt bad because I knew that's a Dice crowd. That's what they do. They eat you alive. And so he was so upset. He's like, I'm not going out there. Then he went out there and like proceeded to have one of the best sets I've ever seen him have, because he was so angry.
Right.
Wow.
But he took it personal, and then he was like, look, I this is going to be too hard for me, because I got booed the next night in Jersey as well.
Back to back, Eleanor. Oh my God.
Fucking Jersey, you bitches. And so I was like, he was like, look, I don't, if you really want to do this, because it's going to get worse, go take a year if you really want to do it. And I did. And I took some time. Then like a year and a half later, we had a showcase to see who could open for him in Vegas.
Right.
And I beat out some heavy hitters.
Who'd you beat? Who'd you beat?
I'm not going to say it.
This is the time to say it. This is the time.
But he just said it works better with me and this guy Wheels. Wheels was his best friend too. So that
I've heard of
again,
Wheels.
again about the traveling with who you can stand, and you know, he could. They've known each other, I think, since the beginning, and maybe not the beginning of Andrew's, but since the beginning of Wheels' career. So whatever. So, but we got the Vegas thing, and then eventually Wheels stopped doing it, and then I just kept doing it. You know, like, but I was still doing every other thing I could do to climb.
Yes.
Right.
Because you have to just keep getting better. Because those crowds still, you go out there and that energy is still there. And if you slip a little, they will get you. They will get you. speaking with Brody, one time I was headlining somewhere, so I gave a gig to Brody. I said, "Are you interested?" And I said to Andrew, "Here's a couple people," and he goes, "Yeah, Brody, yeah." So I said, Brody Stevens,
Yes.
the great
Stephen
Brody
Stevens.
Stephen Brody Stevens. He changed that when you guys came. I know him as Brody Stevens, and so I forget where it was, Long Beach maybe, and Andrew was doing a theater, and Brody went, and he got booed the whole time. And
that's rough. I can't imagine getting booed while drumming.
I think he eventually went into that, but initially he was not. But Andrew was screaming, laughing backstage because Brody, and I'll never not say this about Brody. It doesn't matter what you say about him. He wasn't going to conform to what you wanted him to be. Maybe off stage, like, oh, I could be a good guy, like whatever. But on stage, these are his jokes. This is what he does. I'm not changed. And he stayed with it, even though they were booing him. He did not care. Wow. He fucking did it. It was, and Andrew, he called me and let me listen.
Oh my God, I love that even more. Just like,
And Brody called me. That did not go well. And I go, Brody, it was great. Is Andrew mad at me? He was not mad at you.
That's amazing.
He thinks it's great.
God.
So yeah.
My favorite story with you that I had seen in person at the Comedy Store was one day. I think you were there too.
Oh, I was there that day.
Yeah.
I'm in the picture.
So there is a bringer
There's
show.
a picture
There's
of
a
it?
picture.
Oh, the picture remembering the day. But you're not. Is Eleanor in the picture?
Eleanor's not in the picture.
Red band's in the picture.
Red band's in the picture.
Oh,
So-
okay. They get us confused.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this story? Now I'm nervous.
The fucking Dr. Dre.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah.
Oh my
exactly.
God, that's crazy.
So Dr. Dre is watching a bringer show in the main room, and as he's walking out, he passes you and goes, Eleanor!
And you're a doctor.
Yeah.
What up, DR?
I never forgot that. And so what was that? What's that relationship?
So it's not really a relationship. It's just a acquaintanceship, I guess you would call it. Like,
Right.
because they always came into Fat Tuesday. Like, we talk about the dead years, and I talked about this, the dead years at the Comedy Store, I should say. The thing that kept the store alive was Fat Tuesday.
Which
and I
was
did
Black Night, right?
talk
Black Night.
about that on the Comedy Store podcast. I mean, the Comedy Store documentary, but it didn't make it in there.
That's so funny.
But it literally kept us open. If not for Fat Tuesday, that club would not have survived at all. That was our money. That was our money night. We had that, and La Jolla was doing well.
Right.
Wow,
So-
Lloyd was doing well.
Yeah, we
Interesting.
would always switch. They would do well, we would do well. They would do well. So it would always kind of help piggyback each other.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Mitzi would, remortgage the club, the house, her feet, whatever she could to keep it going.
Yeah.
So, but Fat Tuesday was our bread and butter. That was a big night. And it would be Snoop, it would be Dre. I waited on Tupac there. He had his party when he got out of jail in the belly room. Like,
Wait, what?
yeah, they were always at the store. And then another, basketball players, like everybody would come to Fat Tuesday. They used to host the ESPYs. Like ESPYs would cut, like, you waiting on everybody. I got in a lot of trouble one night at the ESPY.
What'd you do?
It was an after party for the ESPYs, right? And they all came to Fat Tuesday, and Katie, my favorite waitress, one of. I don't want these bitches fighting, but Katie was funny. She was vocal, and she's a sports fan, and she's from Boston, so she's Eleanor, I got Donovan McNabb in my section. And he doesn't believe y'all from South Philly. So I go, all right. And I go over and I'm talking to him. He goes, oh, you're from Philly? What part? What part? You're not from South Philly. I go, I'm from 18th and Oregon. He goes, oh, shit, okay. And he got up and he shook my hand. And I go, oh, my God. Is that Torrey Holt you're sitting next to? And he goes, fuck you know about Torrey Holt? Well, most underrated. Who doesn't know
God.
Holt? Who goes there? I'm a big Rams fan. And Torrey's like, yes. Yes. So I was like, whoa, man, I'm such a big fan, you know, because I didn't give a shit about Donovan McNabb. I was just like, yeah, I'm from South Philly, bitch. You ain't. You know? Who you talking to? And it was just so funny. But afterwards, we were going to take a picture, and Donovan's like, I'm not getting a picture with her.
Oh, my God, the Campbell soup guy.
You made him mad.
Torrey Holt. I
Legend.
still have Holt's autograph and Eric Dickerson in my...
Whoa.
I love Eric Dickerson. He's my favorite. So he was my top guy and ran as easy. And Brody used to do the Best Damn Sports Show. So they got me an autographed picture of Eric Dickerson. And I always keep it out in my apartment. And if guys come over and they're like, who's the black guy in the goggles? I'm like, get out.
Get out.
You don't know who Eric Dickerson is. Get the fuck out.
That's your bar.
Yeah. You don't know the Pony Express, bitch? Out.
You know, so you were at a lot of the Fat Tuesday shows. Would you see Cat?
No, I remember Cat. Let's get real truthful, Cat. I was kidding. When he would go by Cat and Hat.
I've heard, yes.
So, and this was the early 90s, 93-ish, 94. He would come around, he showcased, and when he showcased for Mitzi, she goes, Eddie Griffin wears the hats. Lose the hat. So I don't know if that's why he lost, or it could be, he just was like, all right, fuck the Cat in the Hat bullshit. You know, you grow as a comic, whatever.
Yeah. But I remember he used to be Cat in the Hat.
The Cat, that's how I remember him. But always polite, always funny, always, crushed on stage, always just hilarious on stage, and a great tipper.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love hearing that. I love to hear that.
That's you know what, that makes me so
as
happy.
A waitress, I'd say, and that was back in the day when he wasn't making huge, now he's making money. Of course, he would come in later on, and when he was starting to, because I believe, and I don't know if this is right or if I have him mixed with somebody else, but didn't he do where he put a CD out or a DVD, whatever, and they put it in a shoe box? They put it paired with a shoe company. Is that Cat Williams?
I don't know.
You have to look that up because I swear I was like, that is a genius idea. Some comic did it, and I feel like it was Cat and his team. And then all of a sudden he blew up, and he was doing theaters everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, but it was like not like it came out on anything. Son got an Xbox. That's a great bit. It's a great bit.
Because I was curious if you were there, because I know because you said you were at Fat Tuesday, you were there a lot, and I know Cedric the Entertainer and that whole, I was curious if you were around for that. The drama between them of like him stealing that joke, or
I don't remember.
Because that's what he said on the pod, that he saw him at the Comedy Store at Fat Tuesdays, and that's where Cedric stole that joke and then put it out. So I was just curious if you saw.
I will say that I never saw Steve Harvey perform there. I never. If he came in, he probably came in.
What about Cedric?
Cedric came in a lot.
Because that's what he said.
He didn't
Cedric
always perform a lot.
Ooh, interesting.
Because that crowd will boo you. That crowd. I saw some of the greatest things there. So much fun. Like, I think about it all the time. They used to do the birthday dance. So Guy Torrey was the host.
Yes.
Right.
And Guy would do this thing called the birthday dance. Now, Guy started it in the belly room. And it was jam-packed up there. That was when my other boyfriend would come, Warren G. Y'all know Warren?
Stop right
Get
now.
the fuck out of here.
Eleanor, stop.
I swear for God.
Eleanor, stop right now!
One night, Chewy, there was a fight, and so everybody was outside. And so Chewy and Warren are standing on the ramp, the Hyatt ramp, Andaz ramp, whatever the words are. And Warren's like this, and I go, what's the matter? What's going on? Because he's like, I broke my tooth, and I got a crush on you. And I was like, oh, you can show me your tooth, baby.
Eleanor Kerrigan.
I love Warren G. And he was my boo. And these were my boos coming in they took care of us, seriously, because they would bring a lot of people in, sometimes an entourage, sometimes a lot of girls, sometimes not, but like, there was a fight almost with these girls because Warren was like, keep the change. And then one of them followed me and said, he said, give me the change. And I was like, you fucking ghetto bitch. And so I gave it to her because I don't want to, I was like, just give it. Just don't. We were in the belly room. It was tiny. And I had already diffused the situation where they had one of my waitresses, girls had her up against the fucking.
God.
Jesus.
And So I had to get in that. I was like, let's not start because this is fucking hood and I'm just me. You know, I can't fight this whole room. You know, I'm not doing it. And I was trying to be good for Guy because I loved Guy and I really wanted the show to do, you know, and he did. It was only up there a couple months in the belly room and then went right to the main room and it just sprouted out. It was amazing. Yeah. So I gave the girl the change. Warren saw what she did and came back down and gave me another, whatever it was, $40 or $20. They always tipped so well. You know, they were so gracious. And just so, because we'd remember their drinks. We'd fucking run around. And if you didn't get them in your section, you made $30. So.
So, yeah, you wanted all the famous rappers from you wanted all those famous rappers from the 90s.
I had, what's his name? Bone Thugs. Bone had just gotten out of jail. It was a Bone.
Busy? Was it Busy or Crazy?
I'm trying to think of which one got out. He had just gotten out, right? And he ordered a bottle of Moet. So I go to the back. Moet. Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me say it properly. Let me say it properly. Yeah. It's Moet, but I'll say Moet. And, so I went to the back, but we weren't allowed to open them in the showroom because it would pop or shoot or something, you know, fucking waitresses killing people in there. And so, of course, I'd have Mr. Pete, the Thai bartender, open it for me in the back. So he opens it. We put it in ice. I bring it out. He goes, hey, I'm not drinking this. I go, what? He goes, somebody could have put something in there, man. And I go, we're not allowed to open it in the showroom. We just, you know, how to bring it out like this. And he goes, I'm not drinking that. You got to take that back. Get me another one. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to bring back? You know, at that time, I think it was $65, which was like $2,000 now.
Yeah, it's an insane bottle. Yeah, that's an insane bottle.
I go, oh, he goes, well, either that or you're going to have to drink some. Bitch, I don't drink. I was like, fuck. So I had to drink some of the champagne to prove that it wasn't poisonous.
You had to be the Bone Thugs and Harmony poison tester.
I was so fucking mad. I was like, I hate champagne, bitch. Like, I really hate champagne. I don't mind a fruity drink. I'm kind of a weirdo, but champagne, ugh, tastes like club soda. Damn. But I drank it because I was like, okay. And then I brought him a split closed because I felt bad, like a half. Yeah. And I go, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't realize, but we are not allowed to open them in here. And just so you know, here's literally like a split that you could have. It's closed because I drank some of your $65. I just didn't want to eat it. You know what I mean? Right. They will comp me a split was like $10 or something at that point. So I could get those. Mooney used to drink them with a straw, the best.
What a gangster.
Oh, give me a split, homie. And a straw. He was so ghetto. I love it.
And you saw Pryor as well?
Pryor, yeah, we were just talking about this. Pryor did a year where he was doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because he just wanted to. But then it turned into just Wednesday, and because he couldn't obviously sustain, but he was coming every Wednesday, and sometimes I think he did Fat Tuesday once, maybe at that, you know. Where Chewy had to help him out, you know, but that it's hard to get up. That you know that's your handicap. Yeah. Pryor was doing it so long that it got to the point where he would walk up there with a cane. Then it became he'd walk up there with Chewy, assistant like holding, and then it became Chewy carrying him.
Damn.
Well, he did it till the end.
Yeah. Like so, it was okay, and then he'd sit on the stage, and everybody'd lean in. You couldn't hear him, you know. He was sometimes really low, and then sometimes he'd get loud. But you know, depend on how he was feeling. Yeah. Fucking sucked. And I remember like this one guy. He had like a handsome guy, dreads kind of like pulled back, and he was just staring at him, and tears were rolling down his eyes. And he was on the stage, and I was like, oh my God, this is so sad. But like Chevy Chase, Whoopi Goldberg would come see him. Like everybody would come every Wednesday just to see him. It was, you know, really kind of cool. And I was telling them the story of he asked me for a martini. He calls it a toonie. He's like, bring me a toonie. And I was like, okay. And I go to the kitchen. I'm like, hey, Richard wants a toonie. And Mr. Pete, the bartender who's been at that point had been there forever, he was like, oh, Richard, yeah. And so he made it. And then his wife came back, no, don't give him that. Give him water. oh, you want me to give Richard Pryor water? And she was like, he can't have it. It's going to fuck up his meds. I go, you're right. I don't want to counteract or, you know, I'd rather keep Richard, you know, whatever. So I put water. It was like that. And I, you know, I think they even put a little olive juice to make it look a little whatever.
Martini, yeah.
And I took it to him. He's on stage. I'm crouched. You can't see me. I'm crouched, but I'm in the front, like behind the first row, in between there, you know, and I'm just putting drinks out, and I'm all the way down because Richard's sitting. So you never could be up at that point. So I'm like this, and he goes, see that waitress right there? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, you could see me? Like, I was so nervous, and Mitzi's in the back, and I'm like, he goes, see that waitress right there? And people look at me, and I'm just like, hi. And he goes, she gave me water, bitch. I was like, oh my God, Richard Pryor just called me a bitch. How exciting. It was so exciting, but I remember being covered with sweat because I thought, oh no, Mitzi's going to get mad. Richard could see me. But I was crouched. I don't know how the fuck he saw me. But, you know, it's kind of intimate there.
Right, yeah.
Even if you're crouched, you just look like a third row.
God, and then he just knows that room. He would just know that room so well.
Maybe. But yeah, he called me a bitch from stage. It was great. I was so excited. I told that story on the Comedy Store documentary, and they
cut it out. That's so funny.
Jennifer would remember that, his wife.
Yeah. Just like the stories that people kind of actually want to know about the Comedy Store. They cut.
Yeah. But I know Mike Binder, the guy who did it, he only had, 5 episodes, I think, and he tried for 8. But I guess they only gave him 5, so.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell that lifetime?
Yeah, it's so many lifetimes.
Yeah, so there's so many stories.
Because we've heard Joe tell just that story of having to follow Richard in that state all the time. Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he would say he just told us a bunch of stories that following Joe during that time. Do you remember when Joe Rogan came around? Were you there when you saw Joe first show up?
Hey, Joe Rogan. Oh my God, yeah, Joe and I used to have so much fun. He started, I think he showed up in '94, but Joe used to have.
When you started.
He had, '93. So Joe had this bit. And I just remember him and Dom immediately became besties. So, of course, we all became besties.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, we're like, okay, he's one of us. He's like, you know, just a layman, not a cocky little piece of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes comics come in and they're just like, we don't talk to the staff, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We've seen that, yeah.
There's a lot like
People
that. It's
act
weird.
Like,
and
But I think once you work there, you're like, as a comic,
But
now
Joe didn't work
you
there.
avoid it.
But Joe or Dom never worked there.
They just are like that.
And they just came in, they would hang in the kitchen. Like, I have more stories with Joe in the kitchen than anywhere. Like, it's crazy, but because they prefer just hanging out with real people.
Yeah.
Versus being a bougie, did you see what I did up there? You know,
right.
I'm going to go float somewhere. But Joe used to have this bit about, what are you doing? And it used to stick in my head a lot because he was like, had this girlfriend. He's like, all right, put the helmet on. It was some bit about doing something and a sexual whatever. And he's like, put the helmet on. She's like, you know what? Just because you put unicorns and dolphins on it doesn't make it any better. All right, put the helmet on. It was just so dumb of a bit, but it always stuck in our head because it was like the new whatever, the new guy. I remember the lion bit. There were so many bits, but we used to do this thing in the kitchen. You know, I'd have my apron on, and Joe would come in and go, hey, you have a stamp? Or a quarter or whatever it was. And I go, oh, let me see. And then I just dig until I was like,
Oh my God. What the
disgusting.
We're both crazy
I mean,
people.
literally, he would bring people in and be like, watch this. And I'd be like,
Bro, that's the most Joe Rogan, Eleanor Kerrigan shit I've ever heard in my life. That is what I would imagine
why we
y'all
all
would be
got
doing.
along. Like, literally. And then Dom Herrera would come in and be like, you know what you need? A good punch to the twat.
Oh my God.
And he'd hit me and I'd be like, oh. Like, I just was so stupid.
This is near the the food in the kitchen?
We never had food, you pussies. We were a real comedy club.
Oh, that was no food days.
No, Mitzi never, ever. We had snacks. That was my biggest fight in Fat Tuesday. They would bring in fucking everything. And they'd be like, well, you don't have food. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker. Mitzi doesn't like carnies. You bring that in here, we're all in trouble.
Damn.
She fired 3 waitresses for eating carnies because of the way it smelled. At one time. She did not like food in that. She would not like this food thing. She would not like.
That's what I love about the mothership is no food. I genuinely love that.
And
that
if you're a waiter, even better.
I'm sure. Oh my God.
Oh,
Just
I'm sure
drinks.
they're so happy.
I was a cocktail server. I never served food there. Never. I mean, they did start pizzas at one point, and it was an immediate horrible situation, and we got rid of it. And we got rid of the guy who suggested it.
Damn.
El Tocho. No.
But we didn't have what they like that kitchen.
They had like a little kitchen area.
No, there was a toaster oven in the fucking front bar. And we would, I swear to God, we would go out there and there was this guy named Joe. Hope he's dead. Joe, who literally, I'd go, Joe, where's that fucking pizza? You know, because we're in the thick of it. You know, I go, where's that pizza? And he'd go, it's going to be 8.5 more minutes. And I'm like, you motherfucker. And I'm like, forget it. Forget the pizza. So we only served, the only thing we would sell was like snacks like M&Ms and peanuts. Mitzi would make us wrap it in red cellophane.
Damn.
And sell that. That was it. And then Andrea started with her cookies. And then food was introduced, but I was gone by then.
Damn. It's so nice to hear these stories about like this because we love the store so much.
Yeah.
Like the iterations of what it was and what, you know, because what it was when we were there was very different than these stories. It was a lot more people, a lot more corporate, I think.
No, it turned corporate.
Yeah.
Once Adam brought, just kidding. Once Adam and Eric Anderson and Adam Egett, turned it around by bringing Joe back. Getting Joe back was a big deal.
That was huge. That was what really turned it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mixed with Eric turning it a little more into a tighter ship, and then Brenton on the Instagram.
Brenton on the Instagram.
It was like a 3-headed monster.
I just saw Brenton and then he disappeared. He was here the other day.
He was here last night, yeah.
Oh, okay. I have to text him because I was like, I said hi, and then I was going to say hi to somebody else, and then he disappeared.
He's a little guy.
I love seeing Brenton. But him and Adam, like,
yes.
Bringing in Spade, we did decide that they changed the name to the Credit Store, but that is.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, every act wasn't.
It was turning into the Credit Store. Yeah. We were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, there would be nights where there was no non-famous people on it. Like the only not famous person on it may have been like Don, and it was like, wow,
right.
Don and Argus. Everyone else was famous. It was like,
it was amazing what they did. I mean, they resurrected that fucking place.
Started a whole golden age of comedy there, really.
Sure,
theater acts
absolutely.
and arena acts. Yeah. But it's so cool to me that to just know that you saw all these people before. Like that, I think that as a comedian, like to me, it's just like the most inspiring thing to know that you saw Joe Rogan then, or you saw. Like you first saw Joey Diaz, and I can't imagine. Look at that right there. Like, what was he like when you remember meeting him?
Of course.
Look at that. I'd love to know what that was like.
Listen, cocksucker, I can't say nothing. I would never out my boy.
But do you remember when he first?
Of course, yeah, just hanging out. I remember his wife always tells a story because she was one of my waitresses. Terry, she said that. We were at Ralph's. I would always go to Ralph's like after work, whatever, late night. And I just go, Terry, are you with Joe Diaz? Oh, shit. Yeah, they were sneaking around. They were sneaking around for a while because you weren't allowed to date the comics. Mitzi wouldn't let you date the comics. She don't want you to be distracted, especially the waitresses. Like, people are like, oh, she hated women. I'm like, that's not what it was. The bread and butter of that place was in the drinks. So the more we sold, the better our bills were paid and our checks didn't bounce.
So I need those girls in there working, not out here flirting.
You can't be fucking around playing with the comics. Have to do their job. You have to do your job.
And we'll fuck around all day. Yeah, because I mean, think about it, I'll bother a server from working, guy or girl, like flirting, where you're just bothering them. You're just having fun.
You're saying what you did. Dice was shooting Dice Undisputed in there before it got picked up. So there was a line around the corner, not because we were busy, because the cover booth guy was in his scene. And
Exactly.
nobody there.
We love fucking around. If I know you're working, I kind of want to fuck around with you more. I want to see
how long I can distract you from like doing your job.
I could remember having a full tray and be like, Andrew, I got to take this out. One more second. I need you to just walk around this car. Like the drinks are getting watered down. Like, and so I would just leave them. But it was hard. But yeah, we all did that. You just had to not have it interfere. Like if you could still sell, then great.
Yeah.
But I feel like, some people would just rather fuck around. Or the girls, I used to make a list of comics that you couldn't fuck. And the reason I didn't want you to fuck them is because if you fucked them, they were going to get upset and they were going to leave. They weren't going to come there anymore. Like we had comics that were like, I can't, this bitch is crazy. I got to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
Like, or vice versa. You're fucking with my waitresses,
And now it's a problem either way. Yeah.
And so it was just too much. So I had a list. And I remember I put Jimmy Schubert on my list. I was like, he's my favorite. You're not letting him leave. Like, he makes me laugh. He's my silly. And then Schubert, I'd hire a hot waitress and Schubert come in to, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I go, what's that? He go, you take me off your list. I'll take you off my list and we can call the whole thing off. I got to get this one.
Schubert's the man.
Oh, because he would do skits in the kitchen, like him and Gary Valentine. I don't know if you know Gary Valentine.
I knew
Kevin
I heard the
James'
name.
brother.
Yes. But I knew the name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Gary, Carl LeBeau, Jimmy Schubert would come in doing characters, and we used to get the not the LA Times, but some kind of Times, some kind of newspaper they would put back there. And Gary would come in with like 30 of them and say, how many? 20? Right this way. And all the papers would be all flying all over the place. And then Schubert would come in, I need a peanut daiquiri. He'd throw he'd imitate the waitresses and the weeds. He'd throw like a tray down. I need a small hairless boy, a cheese daiquiri, and like just all dumb shit.
Yeah.
And then Carl would be the waitress that like couldn't make eye contact. Or if you said something, he'd be like, I mean, it was so silly, and we'd rather watch them in the kitchen than the show. And we're having a blast in the kitchen, just fucking around, doing dumb shit, and not serving drinks. No, we had to serve drinks because it was we would get bonuses if you sold a certain amount. Like Mitzi was good to us. Like we would get like tax free, but it was like an extra tip kind of thing. It was So I had to work, but we did fuck around a lot.
I mean, that's the beauty of that place. Is like it's just so much fun,
especially in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. I always talk about the kitchen of the Comedy Store, and they're like, "I want to see this kitchen." I'm like, it's not that impressive.
It's gross, but when you're there, man, it can get fun.
Yeah, but now it's so busy. They took up all the fun spots. Like now there's 2 ice machines. Like we used to have the couches there. We used to fuck around, smoke cigarettes there. All our wait staff stuff was all that. Like all the waitresses and door guys stuff was all there. All our trays were under. God bless you. I'm killing when I can bless people.
But no, because it's like, man, I haven't been back. I haven't seen the new setup. I'll go for the first time in May. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I've been back since
COVID.
He
hasn't been back since COVID.
So it'll be my first time since May.
Yeah.
Okay.
This May will be my first time back, so I'm excited.
Are you doing Netflix as a joke?
I'm doing Brian's show.
Brian.
Tuesday Simpson at the.
Oh, nice.
He's doing the main room, and so I'll do his.
Yes, great.
So I'm excited to be back.
They should call it the Mothership Show.
Literally,
yeah. I think I'm gonna be on it as well.
I think that would be great. I think that's a great idea.
Sam is on it.
Oh, is she? I love it. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Well, no, we brought you here for a reason. It actually still was none of that.
All right, I'll take my pants down.
But
I'll let you agree. But our favorite thing about my favorite thing was about the Comedy Store, even from the first time I went to any time, is just all the names on the wall. It's something about seeing all those names on the wall and just like being like a part of comedy history and like seeing the comedy history and like because it's not about. Of course, you see like the names like the Jay Leno's and Robin Williams and Richard. But I loved seeing the names I didn't know.
Spaghetti and Meatballs
Company, Ace Trucking Company. You know what I mean? Like I like seeing like and how they got there. So Ehsan, you want to tell what our game is for?
Well,
it's we got a game.
Yeah, it's really simple. And all it is we went through. I went through the page, and I just the Comedy Store like paid regular page, and we just picked out some random names, And we just
Okay.
want to know if you could tell us anything about these people.
Because also and I know this because you've been there. When you're at that place every day, the day in and day out,
Yeah.
you do look at all those names more,
Sure.
and you truly start analyzing all of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how much they stick with you.
Harris Pete used to play Let's Play Connect 4 or something along those lines with like Match the Dead people. So he would do the pictures like that. Dead.
Damn.
That's actually kind of cool.
like a tic-tac-toe or something.
Yeah. I think you went Connect 4 because you were here for the
Yeah,
tournament.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
So if your name is on that wall, it means you're a paid regular. You were passed to perform there, and
Yeah.
so these are some names we want to see if you know anything about them.
Ace Trucking Company.
That's obviously. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, so yeah, some of them might be way before your time.
The
right?
only thing I could think of is Mitzi was like, they did me a favor, put them up there. Unless it was a sketch group.
A sketch group.
sketch
Because
group,
there were
yeah.
sketch groups on there. Not so much towards the later time, but like
No,
at the
but
beginning.
she had
huh?
Monday Night Players, and they were sketch groups.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
before the open mic was. I guess the open mic
Oh,
was on
this was
Sundays.
when like in the 70s and 80s, and you had to be a part of it. And Dice was part of it. He hated it.
He was in a sketch group?
Yeah, he had to do it.
Andrew Dice Clay was in a sketch
Sam
group.
Kinnison, they all did it. They all did it.
Do you remember what the sketch group's names were?
Ace
No,
Trucking.
Besides Ace
you'd have
Trucking?
to ask. Maybe I was gonna say Dom might have been a part of it, but no, he probably wasn't because Dom came in and he was already working everywhere, so he he wasn't like the Andrew and that they all lived in the house. Maybe Alan Steven would remember the names. but
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Allison Arbgrim?
Tremendous comic. No, I
I told you I picked some random names.
Yeah.
Blair Butler.
raped me. No, I don't know. I never heard of that one.
Really?
I've seen it. I could see it now that you say it
Right.
on the wall.
There's certain ones. Chance Langton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chance had a great bit. He stopped coming probably a year into me being there, but
Okay.
he was like a guitar comic, and what's that song? Give peace a chance. He would say, "Give chance a piece." That's all I remember.
I love that he got something stuck in
It
your
was
brain.
like
though.
yeah, because it was my first year, so I was like, "What is he
you're just hearing
saying?"
it.
Right.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
But then he disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
They all do.
Some people just stop doing it
Yeah.
completely and just go away. It's wild.
Or become directors or
Yeah,
producers.
but see,
yeah,
just
they
start
work
doing
in
some other
Hollywood.
job.
Yeah.
Count Basie.
Count Basie is a place in New Jersey. It's a theater I'm working on May 12th. I forget the date, but it is in there. I don't know who that is, though.
Daryl DeMilitant Littleton.
Of course. Demilitant.
Oh,
No,
DeMilitant.
that was okay. Who was he? What was he?
Demilitant. He's a black comic. He used to, I don't know, he may have been in the service, but he would go up like militant and just say all these crazy facts. And he was funny. He was funny. Demilitant. Look him up. He's he did
Demilitant.
Fat Tuesday. He was a regular in the OR. I remember seeing him a lot.
Okay,
But
so
then
he was getting good
he
spots.
just kind of disappeared. I haven't seen him in years.
And he came back as Brian Simpson.
I mean, he would do like facts, like, black people, like this, and you'd be like, okay. But again, he was like a little bit later, so I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
I already gave up remembering things.
That's so funny.
Chance and a few other people are in there.
Dave Mishevitz.
Dave Mishevitz, yeah, of course,
Mishevitz.
Mishevitz is
Mishevitz.
right. We call him Mishevitz.
Mishevitz.
But Dave Mishevitz came up with. He lives in Michigan now. I'm trying to think of what group he came up with. Maybe a little after Freddie, like a Jonathan Godsick, and you probably won't even know any of these people.
Right.
Johnny Sanchez.
I know
Johnny Sanchez. I do know
Like
Johnny
those
Sanchez.
guys, like around there, maybe. Dave Mishevitz. Who else did Mishevitz work? Oh no, and he worked with like Ingram and those guys. Like he kind of crossed over.
Was he a
like,
door guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
Jew.
He
And a
came.
Jew.
He would
And
come
did
to
you?
my. And did you? I don't think so.
Mishevitz?
You don't think Mishevitz was a Jewish name?
I'm gonna say I'm not sure.
Oh, damn. That's
I'm
funny.
gonna say I'm
Whoa.
not sure.
If he wasn't Jewish, that's
He
crazy.
got fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, his aunt saw me on the Kid Rock cruise. He's from Detroit. And so,
Connections.
yeah, I know it's so weird. But he also, when I was wrestling, I was backstage and I look out just to see how the crowd is because we did it at the Forum, and I see Mishevitz in the fucking in the ring. I go, what are you doing? Like, they called people in. They were just crowd warm up, and he won a T-shirt.
Holy shit! In the Forum?
Yeah, it was so funny. I was like, of course,
awesome.
Mishevitz is up there. He's State Lee.
Lee,
The server?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's married to
Mitchboro?
Wow.
Connection.
And so
Connection.
he used to date a server that was one of our DoorDash
Yeah, he's cool
brothers.
people. He's
That's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, he's good people.
No, I'm glad.
I can't wait to have Mitch on to bring this up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to have Mitch on to bring this up.
Bring it up to Lee. She might twitch a little. She'll be all right.
Fred Asparagus.
Oh, the great Freddie Asparagus.
Oh, who's Freddie Asparagus?
One of the nicest, sweetest people in the world. He was a big guy. He's in a lot of movies. So if you Google him, you'll come up with like a little rare appearances.
Love it.
But when Freddie would go on stage, he used to fake a heart attack. And then he actually had a heart attack.
Like while he was doing the bit?
I don't
No,
think
I'm sorry, stop. Oh my God.
How deep does this go? What do you mean?
it was in the OR. I don't know exactly where, but he used to fake it. And he used to put all these straws together, and then he used to whistle. It was like a thing he did in the kitchen just to make us laugh. He was really a sweet man. I feel terrible. I didn't know him long because he did pass pretty early.
Oh, damn.
But he's the nicest. Freddie
R.I.P.
Asparagus.
Freddie Asparagus.
R.I.P.
Oh, man.
Greg Eagles.
Yeah, the great Greg Eagles. Another one, cartoonist. I believe he has a huge cartoon out. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, Greg. Greg Eagles is a good
It's just
guy.
like SpongeBob. It's just like, what the fuck?
Not like that, but he's an actor too. Yeah, there he is. The great Greg
I've seen
Eagles.
this guy.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Oh.
Oh my God.
The
This,
Grim Adventures. I remember that growing up.
yeah.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Billy Mandy. 'Cause that's
And
his
an
name.
Afro Samurai?
He's
Jesus.
brilliant. He's
Afro Samurai was huge.
literally one of the nicest guys in the world, and just a hard ass worker, and yeah, good guy, Greg Eagles.
Damn. he's
What a
doing
great career. Oh
yeah,
my
wow,
God.
What a wonderful career. A lot of Garfield stuff. That's wild.
Comedy is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at took this guy to all this.
Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, damn.
Greg's been around a minute. You
Yeah,
know,
this dude
so-
worked.
Damn.
And he was a hard worker too. And I remember
Clearly.
to be
This
honest,
fucking
like
keeps going.
I don't know when he moved to like LA or wherever, like if he was from there or whatever, but I just remember like he was one of the ones that didn't have a car. So this guy was like showing up places like on public transportation in
Yeah.
LA, which is not easy. And he was just always everywhere walking. I'd see him, I could be in Burbank. And I'm like, Greg? You know, and he's just walking by. The nicest guy in the world.
Love that.
Itzkowitz.
Huh?
Okay, I'll take that as a no. Itzkowitz. It was just one name.
Ishkowitz.
Itzkowitz. No, okay. Joey Marmo.
Marmo. Hey, should we call him?
We can call Mars.
Marmo?
We can call Mars.
You're a Marmo. Joey Marmo, hilarious. Mitzi, she did this. She wanted him to do this bit. This was when she was pushing characters. So she had him hold a blow-up doll. And he would tango with it. Should we call him? Because he was there when I first started. So he was the guy who like didn't kind of jump up. He was great. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
But then he, he was like, I need to make money.
Man.
So now he's like a huge real estate person. Him and his wife, awesome, and they live in Florida. I talk to him all the time.
Damn.
Now he does real
Marmo,
estate.
yeah, and he
Marmo,
was
and
one
his
of
name's
Mitzi's-
just on the wall.
Joey Marmo, he was one of Mitzi's absolute favorites, and his wife, I believe, is from California. So he used to do I don't know, realtor conventions or something. So he hired me to come up and tell jokes. He goes, I got to see this.
Oh, that's awesome. Full
Because
circle.
he didn't know me as he only knew me as a waitress,
Not
and
a
Mitzi's
comic.
assistant, not a
Wow.
comic.
So when he saw you do stand up, was he like, what?
What the fuck is this? Yeah, you're a marmo. I can remember his whole act.
That's great.
Amazing. Kip Adada.
The great Kip Adada, of course. R.I.P. Kippy. Kippy was a little bit of a pervert and a little bit of an asshole. Like people didn't like him, but he was like this lounge act kind of guy. He would go on with like in a suit and like a little sipping
drink.
like a Grand Marnier kind of thing. But he was quick. And I remember Paul Mooney was like, you remember that motherfucker? Like he's going off yelling about this guy, and I'm playing Mooney charades. Like Holztman charades and Mooney charades are the hardest to guess.
Right.
And Mooney's going, you know who I'm talking about. And Paul called me the white lady.
Yeah.
For like a long time.
Right.
And he's like, white lady, don't play dumb. You know who I'm talking about. And I was like, I don't. He's like, the hairdresser. Hairdresser? It was Capadonna. I didn't know he was a hairdresser.
Madonna.
And so I guess, but he was very funny, and he was one of Mitzi's favorites too. But he unfortunately passed away. But he used to book people, kind of fuck people over. But I wasn't one of those people.
Wait, pause real quick.
He was always nice to me.
When did Holtzman show up? Were you there for that, or was he
Of
already there
course.
when you?
No. Holtzman came after.
Oh my God! Was he on stage that already, or did you see him like
No,
grow
that
into
was
what he
it.
is?
That was it.
That was
Even
it.
worse. Even worse.
Even worse?
Yeah, because he was using.
Wow.
He's sober.
Yeah, he's very sober now.
Very sober.
But he was even crazier on stage. That is even harder to imagine.
Yeah, and I was telling the story because he used to fix planes, and he was like this guy, and fucking, he'd do the joke about I got all these bolts and nuts in my pocket. I hope the plane's all right. So I'd see him out all night. I'd know what he was doing and hanging out and where he was. He'd be at the Rainbow or whatever. And then I'd have a 6 a.m. flight, and I'd see Holtzman under my plane. I'd go, here we go.
Oh my God.
This is not going to go well. I just would be like, God. That's when I started sleeping on planes from takeoff to landing. I don't want to know what happened.
Lacassian Siegel. No.
I don't know that one.
Ollie Joe Prater.
How dare you not know Ollie Joe?
Who's Ollie Joe?
Is his picture still not in the back? The
I think
big
it might
heavy
be.
guy
I think
with
I know
the,
he's.
the
I know
big
he's
hat, the
mentioned.
That's him?
Yeah, that's
I know
Ollie
that
Joe.
picture. Wow.
Yeah.
I know he's mentioned in the story in the book. That
I
I'm dying
never
up
met
here.
her.
Oh, really?
He
Okay.
passed away, but Ollie Joe, it was Dice's roommate up in Crest Hill.
Wow.
And,
okay. That's crazy.
They would, he liked to party, and I believe he was like a dealer,
Whoa.
allegedly. And he's dead. Who cares?
Yeah, he's
and nobody knows who these fucking people are. And so, Andrew Dice didn't like party. That wasn't his thing. He liked girls, but he didn't like party. So there was always like some conflict because it was Canison, it was Ollie, it was, Carl LeBeau and Andrew. He was like the clean cut and Argus. So we're fucking.
They're partying.
Yeah, that's King of the Coke Hill up there. And so Ollie would be like, we won't have a problem if you give me some of that paprika chicken. Andrew used to make this paprika chicken that Ollie Joe liked. So they became instant friends. But I only know through stories of other people. I never met him, but he was like Mitzi's favorite, and like
he's like a henchman almost.
Yeah, there's a great story of was it Ollie Joe and Alan Steven brought Argus Hamilton to rehab, and they were all fucked up. And when they got to Betty Ford, the lady was like, okay, all three of you are checking in. No, just this motherfucker.
All three.
And Ollie's like, do I have Coke on my nose?
Quentin Gutierrez.
Quentin. That's, yeah, I know Quentin. He's the car guy.
Oh, he's the guy who offered to fix her car, and she said, "Get him out of here."
I love you, Quentin.
Wow. Quentin. Roxanne Reese. No.
I don't think so. I don't remember
Flame
that name.
Monroe.
Flame Monroe is a brilliant comic, a trans comic. Is that
Really?
right?
I don't know. I actually know nothing about. I've never heard the name. I just said this is a crazy name.
I didn't know Flame was a regular. Maybe she was back in the day. But I believe she's trans. She's huge. She just did. Tiffany Haddish had her on her special. Isn't that right? Look that up.
Oh my
Flame
God,
Monroe.
that is true. Tiffany Haddish did have her on her special.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's a trans.
She's brilliant.
A trans comic. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
know she's been around a while, but I didn't know.
Because you said the name, I was like, that name sounds familiar. And then you said that, and I'm like, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she did. You're right. She did Tiffany Haddish's special for when Tiffany put on people.
Oh my God.
The Flame's been around, but I didn't know. Maybe she was a regular and just got, pissed off at the store. Who knows?
Yeah,
people get mad or.
I noticed that there are people who would just get past and then immediately not come anymore.
Or
That was
it
also
could be also this. Like a big one of Mitzi's favorite things to do was to
Yep.
Flame's excellent. But Mitzi would book people, pass you rather, and then be like, not working. Stop giving you spots.
Wow.
It happened to Seinfeld.
Seinfeld got passed? I thought Seinfeld, she said no to Seinfeld.
No, I think Seinfeld got passed.
Mm-hmm.
Then she just didn't like what he was doing, so she took him out of the lineups. And then he confronted her, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's like, "You don't." This is a line Tommy stole from her. "You don't fit into what we're doing here." Comedy.
Damn, that's so funny. She told Seinfeld that you don't fit in with comedy.
You don't fit in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So she said he just didn't fit in. She said, and I was like, okay, but in her mind, didn't fit into her lineup.
Into what she thought it was, yeah.
And then he became fucking Seinfeld. So does it matter? No.
Yeah.
But you know, she's the booker owner. This is why I say don't get mad at bookers. Don't get mad. Find who fucks with you.
Right.
And then fuck with them, because maybe Mitzi just was like, I'm bored with this.
Right.
Who knows?
Damn.
Or maybe Flame didn't want to come. But I do remember that name, but I don't know her at all.
And the last name I found was Steve Turner.
Well, that's a controversial name,
I
isn't
know
it?
it's a controversial name. I was wondering if you knew who the original Steve
I
Turner.
don't.
You
But
don't.
I didn't know who the other one was until he kept trying to convince me I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well,
I really don't remember him, but
Yeah. So when we got there, there was a guy. Remember Steve Turner?
Oh, you think I forgot Steve
Yeah.
Turner?
Danish and O'Neill said they remember him showcasing, but I don't remember him.
Because he said he came to the Comedy Store and he told the door guys there that he got passed when he was 13.
That's impossible.
That was
Yeah,
the
it's
story.
impossible.
It's
That was the
impossible.
story. That was the story. Yeah, Mitzi passed me when I'm 13, and his ID said Steve Turner. There was a Steve Turner on the wall.
Yeah.
Everyone
And we
just
just
bought
went
it.
with
Everyone just went with it
Everyone
for
just
a while, too.
bought it.
I remember going, no. And everybody asked me, and I said, I don't know. No, I
Yeah.
don't remember him.
And I asked Argus one day, and Argus remembered the original Steve Turner.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a guy. He went to Mexico on vacation or something, got hit in the head, suffered brain damage.
That's the real Steve
That's
Turner
the
story?
real Steve Turner.
So that might be him.
Yeah.
I was 13. What?
But I remember he was also a white guy. And
Oh, yeah, that could be a
the real Steve Turner was a white guy.
He got
and
hit hard.
Yeah.
Brought slavery back.
Oh, my God.
And in fact, the real Steve Turner's picture is up at La Jolla. We found it one day.
Oh, my God.
okay, I have no
so
idea.
Yeah, this black dude came around, and he went from being this like cool guy to hang out with when once everyone learned that he was faking it to this really dark character.
Yeah, it's scary.
And it was
He
scary.
was
Stopped
always
coming
a
around.
very nice guy, but he's like, I've been texting you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Maybe here's the thing. Waiting tables, like I would hang out with people. I would talk to people and be like, oh yeah, just I'm such an idiot. Yeah, here, take my number.
Right.
Like Dice still teases me. Everybody has your fucking number. People call you, and they do. I never changed it. It's been the same. So random people. He's like, I thought that person was dead. And no, they're in Florida and close. But like, so you know what I mean? So maybe I did. Maybe I was nice to him because Danish and O'Neill said they remember him showcasing.
Interesting.
But I never
Damn.
remembered him.
But I could also see them just making that up.
No,
No?
not that part.
Not that
because
part.
they had to put him up, and they were
Yeah, they
annoyed
did have
with
to put
it.
it, so they would have believed it. They would have been like, no, I think he did it.
This was when they came back.
Ah.
I'm talking about when they worked there.
Okay.
Because when they worked there, they quit and then came back a few years later. They came back when Tommy left, or maybe Tommy was still there, but they were only basically hosting.
Damn.
And yeah, it was a lot of bullshit there.
Damn. That was the story of Steve Turner.
Yeah. I never knew the other one, and I guess I knew this one.
Wild.
I mean, he
wild.
forced
those
me
all the
to
names?
know him.
Yeah.
What about Ned Wholeness?
Isn't it Holmes?
Wait, is he up as Carlos on the wall? He's up as Carlos,
I think
right?
he's up as Carlos.
Mitzi
Okay.
changed his name,
Yeah.
though. In his defense, Mitzi changed. That's the only time I'll defend him. Mitzi changed his name.
She did that.
Ned Holness is Carlos Mencia's original name.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mitzi told him you'd be better as a Carlos.
Yeah, she wasn't wrong.
You know what?
She
the
wasn't
woman
wrong.
hit. Hit the bullseye.
Yeah.
She's a little racist, but not wrong.
That's usually when you're right, is when you're a little racist.
Yeah, that's what I find.
Well, I would say she would be a great like wrestling manager. You know what I mean? Like if fake wrestling, you know,
She knew
you know what you
characters.
do, you should wear a yellow coat with a banana on it. Inappropriate. That was Jackie Banana.
That's so funny.
Jackie Grayman.
God, she was like a Vince McMahon of comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
that
she's-
should be hilarious. You know, you wear a boa. Why?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People did it.
Eleanor,
Anywho,
thank you
guys
so
were
much
awesome.
for coming on.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
awesome. Thank you for all those stories. You are the. Please, everyone, go watch her special right
Yes.
now. She is absolutely one of the
Yes.
best. Go watch it
Oh,
ASAP.
thank you
Just,
guys.
we
man,
love
we
you.
could have done this forever.
No
We love
country
these
for
hosts.
old women.
No country for all women. Check it out. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
guys.
on.
Thank
Thank you.